sponsor for Friday night.
Oh, fun.
I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's pretty creative. Maybe I'll send you the sheet and let me know what you think.
Sounds fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you've got happy players and nervous characters right now, Lou.
I'm not nervous.
Well,
I'm trigger happy.
That's pretty much like every game, so everyone's always nervous. I'm a DM on edge. I'm gonna take everyone out. Just kidding, mostly. All right, so Anna, I think it's your turn to scribe this week. Are you okay with that?
Is it? Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Beryl, you're on deck for next week, along with May June going after you. But Sim, I think you were last scribe, if I remember, with the the in-depth recap. So you want to give us a quicker version of it?
Yeah, I mean, I can just read the TLDR. I actually put one in this time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So last session, we did a lot of wandering around trying to get the summit off the ground. We started out at Demi Prime's Cathedral, and we tried to press her to join, and she refused to commit, but sent a representative Nimble with us to get the lay of the land and report back to her. From there, we went towards the keep. We encountered a trio of vampires and confirmed to Mei Jun that the truce holds and Cao Ming's still planning to show up. In the keep at the courtyard, we met some Azmira scouts. We let them know about what was going on at the cathedral, and then went down into the tunnels. We told Elodie about the summit, and she was happy to come, but was startled at the mention of Malistray. They have some history. She was previously hunted by him. But we managed to convince her she should come by telling her that we would assure her safety. And she's still interested in negotiating with the Warforged to get access to the altar, but that's sort of on hold. Then we went to Chiron's library and found Lyra and Melody there. Chiron says removing the bloodlust or otherwise messing with the curse is probably a no-go. He doesn't have any way to do it, or even any good avenues of research, but he has lots of ways to make vampires more powerful. And we didn't really want to pursue that at all, but Mei Jun showed a bunch of interest. From the library, we went up to Dainara, leaving Mei Jun to do some research and Nimble to talk to Chiron about something fancy and secretive. We told Dainara what was going on, and obviously she wants to hold the summit, but she was jumpy when the Azmira were mentioned, and expressed a desire to try to meet with the representatives of the non-imperial factions to try to sort of put together a coalition to improve their position. From there, we retrieved Mei Jun and Nimble and Lyra from the library to go to the site of Malik's defeat, under the theory that there might be a thinning of the boundary between our plane and the Shadowfell there, and Lyra wanted to poke at it. And instead, we found a bunch of Shadarkai led by someone the tribe had previously met, I gather, named Arden. Who claimed they were there to retrieve things from the vault. And there were some tense negotiations when they revealed that they knew where Shock and the other prisoners were in the Shadowfell. And we were in the middle of that. Nimble had given us the suggestion that if they seemed less willing to fight than we were, we should press them for greater concessions. We went for it, proposing that we get the prisoners back for letting them live, and they proposed a 7-for-7 for trade instead, and we were hanging on our reply there.
Yeah, so one thing I want to mention, I added something called prolonged effects and timers to the journal. If you have anything on the party like aid or like daylight or some kind of like spell that lasts between 10 minutes and 8 hours to days, whatever, just make sure it's in there, and you record when you cast it and when it ends. So you can mark, like, the calendar will tell you what time it is currently, and you can kind of, mark when the end time would be.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So just in case, someone misses a game, or like we're kind of mid-session and we forget, like, oh, did we have 8 on someone? When did we cast that? Is it still going? Is my mage armor still up? You can refer to that, and we'll see, what effects are on everyone. All right, so it is the 64th of autumn, 4 p.m. as we return to the tense negotiations. Yeah.
Oh, I just have a physical question about the map. Is this square right in front of the center of the party, is that just a pit or a hole of some kind?
It
Yes,
is.
there are several pits in this room.
Okay, got it. Just wanted to make sure I was reading that correctly.
So, yeah, they said they would agree to trade 7 prisoners for the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And I think we were waiting on the reply from the group.
Right, there was a bit of a powwow going on. Sim will turn to face the Shadarkai and say, a moment before we continue to speak of numbers. You say that you know of where prisoners are. They are not held by you directly. Is this true?
Give me a sec here. Where did I put him? Sorry, I was just looking for the character,
Ah, yeah, this guy.
which I just had him out. I'm just... Where did I put him? Let's see. Hang on, let me check my notes real quick. Oh. That was... Arden Relic. That's right. Alright. Arden Relic, where are you? I could have sworn I had you right in front of me.
Lou, did you say that there were
Oh, there he is.
7? Did you say there's 7 Shadowkai in here?
There are 7 Shadowkai and Arden Relic, who's kind of in the back.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There he is.
I'm not able to see. That's okay. I'm not able to see the whole room. That's why I was.
Oh, yeah, because it's kind of dark in here.
Yeah,
So he would look at you and say, I don't have the prisoners with me, but I can bring them here. Fairly quickly.
we are merely supposed to take your word for this?
Well, I would leave behind
In the
my...
middle of a sentence, I'm going to attempt to just start casting. Trying for a surprise round.
There probably wouldn't be surprised. They're all
That's
on
fair.
edge. But if you
That's
want
fine.
to
I'll
start
still-
casting, roll for initiative.
Can I spend inspiration on initiative?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
So we're attacking?
I sure am.
Looks like Sim is.
Oop. I don't seem to have permission to select my token? What's going on? Maybe I need to refresh my roll 20. I'd really rather win this initiative.
And I'm actually going to put him on here.
There we go.
Do you want me
Roll.
to play Gamork, or does
I
someone
was just
want to, or
gonna
are we leaving him out?
poof him out.
How do I
Okay.
roll for advantage off of the roll 20 sheet, or with advantage? I have not actually done this, and I don't want to plug the wrong initiative into the count.
Well, you can just roll with an advantage and use the higher one.
Oh, okay.
You could just edit it after you roll if you roll higher on your second one.
Got it. Okay. Let's find out what happens. Well, there we go.
Alright, so as you're speaking, you begin to chant, and he would yell out as planned. And let's see who goes first. They all sort of nod as he yells that. First act, Miss Wren.
If I didn't know Sim was casting a spell, would I be surprised?
I don't think you'd be surprised because tensions were high. But you might be surprised that he's casting. Not a surprise round, though. You would still get to
I
act.
see.
However, whatever
Right.
you want to do in your round is up to you.
Yeah. 5. Can I step here?
Yes. It's enough space that you could get through without falling.
The light would be traveling with me since it's on my ring.
Yep.
15, 20, 30. $35. Which one is Arden?
This guy.
Ah. And my movement speed is 45, so I can move to right. Oop. I can move to right there. He's here, you say?
Yes.
He's got a square token.
He's got a square token?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm trying to decide if I can actually see him or... Oh, yes, I see him. Sorry, I thought that was like a pillar or something. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to take a shot at him.
Alright, shot with your bow.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh,
So you take aim, firing at him, 26 would strike. As he is hit
I'd
by...
like to make...
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, go ahead.
As he is hit by the arrow.
Alright, I'd like to make this a grasping arrow.
Okay.
Oh, it's not rolling the grasping arrow. This is going to say slashing, but it's actually poison damage. Sorry.
So he would take 19 points of damage, 10 of which goes to his temp HP, and he takes 9 points of damage.
Alright, I will take a second shot, and this one's going to be sharpshooter.
Okay.
Also, tribe, remember, you're all temp HP'd up.
So he was at 22?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, he is going to cast shield and go no, as your arrow flies away from him. But he does use his reaction.
Alright, I'm going to cast Pouty Look. And where is a square where it's somewhat dark?
Well, it'd have to be at least
This-
20 feet away from any of the torches. Which there are 2 of them right now, it looks like. One here and one here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an actual... okay.
Yeah, you guys
Alright.
laid down torches so they couldn't teleport.
Yeah, that was clever. Good job by us. Instead of that, I will spend a key point to use Step of the Wind. And I will run back 5, 10. My jumping distance is doubled, so I can get across this, right?
Yep.
I
And I'm
know if
gonna
that's
come-
ability.
Come back here to my teammates, but let's see, how far did I move? That was 35 feet, so I have 10 more. I'm going to try to spread out a little bit from them. Go to right here. That's my turn.
Alright, Barrel.
So they're all in torchlight now, or some of them are still in darkness and could potentially still teleport.
You are all in torchlight, I believe.
Okay, but if I can't see all of the Shadowlord Tide, then they're not all lit up, are they?
Well, the torchlight goes 20 feet from the torches bright, then I think 20 feet dim.
Right. Okay, I guess what I meant is I personally can only see 4 tokens. So, 4 Shadowlord Tide tokens.
You can
so
see. You can see.
Right, okay, so the rest would still be in some darkness. All right, yeah.
Yes.
So, based on Miss Wren's actions with the torches and stuff, Barrel's going to assume that this hopefully will be helpful. She's going to cast Daylight. Let's put it on the teleport point or something right here.
Go ahead and link the spell.
Mm-hmm. And Beryl is immediately going to shield her eyes and whimper because she hates this spell herself. But she thinks maybe the Shadow Kai won't like it.
Alright. So go ahead and place a torch where you want the daylight.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do think that gives you disadvantage, right?
Right. Yeah.
What's the light of daylight? 60/60?
Yeah.
And Beryl is going to immediately shift into a cave bear.
Alright, so the pedestal is lit up with a bright fire. Let me add you to the initiative. What was
looks like the bear token.
Was Barrel 2118?
Yeah.
Alright. So as an action, or a bonus action, you shift into a bear. Anything else?
Roar. Roar, roar. That's it.
Barely. So Mr. Relic
Barrel.
is up. He is going to start chanting, summoning magical energy. He says you should have bargained. And he is going to cast Wall of Fire. So a large flaming wall. Let me just make sure I have the dimensions of this right. Let's see. 20 feet high, 1 foot thick, 60 feet, right. So a wall of fire bursts into being here, with the flames going towards Sim. And I think I need deck saves from Meijun and Miss Wren. Right?
You do.
Yep. Is this the thing that I can see coming, or does this just sprout up underneath me?
You can see it, because you saw him casting the spell. Alright, so deck save, Meijun and Anna-Kate would both make it, which I believe is half damage. Let me double check.
I think the only time that it's full damage is when you walk through it.
Yeah. What's the damage on this?
It would have been full. It would have been full damage if we hadn't saved. But
Well, right, yes, but like when you walk through it, you don't even get a save. You just take it to the face.
Yeah, if you walk through it. Alright, so 5d8. And, yeah. Is it half damage on?
I at least let me double check.
Let's see, on a failed save, 5d8, or half as much. Okay, yeah, half as much unsuccessful. Sorry. So,
Man, those monks.
Glad I got to use this.
Yeah.
alright, so either 20 fire or 10, or of course with evasion, you take nothing. Ha!
Oh, there goes the temp HP.
I believe he's concentrating on that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so that is it for him. He confidently strides forward.
And then he takes damage.
Right, grasping arrow.
Oh, not the sharpshooter. Sorry. But he takes 8
So he takes 8 damage.
slashing damage.
Concentration. Alright, yeah, he's still concentrating. 5, 10, 15.
Speed is reduced by 10, right?
Yep.
And that's, yeah, that's where he wanted to get to. So he just steps forward a bit. That is it for him. Sim. So
Alright.
there's a bunch of fire in front of you. It's
Guess I
starting
can't see through this wall, huh?
Not unless you
Correct.
walk through it or go around it.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will that get me line of sight to the room? Is that pillar destroyed enough that I can see around it?
Yeah, you can see him from over there.
Great. I will finish my cast of... pick a number.
Actually, he is going to see you casting and cast Counterspell.
He used
That's
his
his
reaction,
reaction.
though. Oh, he had his turn, though, already. Ah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, reset. So he would counter your Sickening Radiance unless you got something you can do.
No, did he burn a 4th level slot for it? Or a 5th level slot, I guess?
He burned a 3rd level, so let me make that caster check.
Yep.
16. Yeah, that would make it. So he has countered your spell.
Well, that's rough.
He says no. But he did use his reaction now. Anything else?
Sure. Let's just troll him. Let's have Relic make a DC 16 strength save, because I'm just gonna shove him telekinetically.
Sure. He does not, and he goes, ugh, as he pushed back a little. Anything else?
I'll use the rest of my movement to take cover behind this wall. Do you take damage for being adjacent to that wall? I guess I wouldn't
Yes.
know. I'll move here.
Alright, so you have to get back from it at least, I think, 10 feet, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
If you end within 10 feet of it, the direction it's facing, it would deal damage.
Oh, weird. Well, I guess I'll stay up here then.
Alright,
Rather be exposed than on fire.
that's probably a good move. May June, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to roar loudly and proudly. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't go quite like that. So I'm actually going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet. And once I get up here, I will enter a rage, but it's not the prominent animalistic one that I normally identify with. It's just like actual anger. And I would like to attempt to grapple Sim as I yell very angrily, "Why the fuck are you gambling with their lives? These are our fucking friends you're talking about."
Alright, so you grab him and yell at him, but no action? I guess grabbing him would be the action.
Yeah, well, certainly one of the attacks anyway.
Alright, are you gonna resist Sim?
The grab?
Yeah.
A grapple specifically.
Grapple? Yeah, I would. Don't want to be grabbed right now.
Alright, so athletics or acrobatics to resist.
Well, neither of those are very good for me. But let's
It's
give it a
like,
shot.
ah. Oh.
Nope,
So you
not
are
even a little bit.
you are grabbed by Mei Jun as he shakes you angrily. Anything else, Mei Jun?
Let's see. Well, I'm not trying to actually hurt the guy. Would I have action economy left remaining to say a thing to the Shadow Kai or no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, I have Sim grabbed in one of my hands. I'm just gonna like turn my head back and I'll just yell. I'll just yell. It doesn't have to fucking be this way, and I'll end my turn.
So he would point at you and say, "Your people did this." Give me a persuasion check.
Do I have? I do. Okay, we're gonna use one. It's probably still gonna be garbage, but. Fuck.
So he's kind of grabbing at the arrow shot that hit him in the shoulder, looking angrily at you and your group. He will say, if you truly mean that, stop attacking now. But he will continue to hold his spell. He kind of looks around at the Shadow Dancers, not saying anything, but almost like he's somehow communicating with them. This guy moves up here. Ready's in action. This guy moves here. I'll say up here. Ready's in action. This guy moves here. Ready's in action. This guy moves here. Ready's in action. This guy is going to pull out a bow. Ready in action. And then these two do the same thing, pulling out bows. So I'll mark them as missile right now. The other guys have the standard chain. I guess I should mark them too. Two-handed spike chain. Two, and 2. Alright, so that's it for the Shadow Dancers. Reed, the wall is getting really hot, and you think if you stay here, you will get burned by it. Or you could run through it, and definitely get burned by it.
If you're gonna get burned, you might as well do it yourself. No, just kidding.
Is it a flat 20 if I run through it, or do I
It's
you roll?
5d8.
Oh, it's 5d8.
Yeah, although Reed probably doesn't know that. It looks like it would hurt. Probably kill most normal people.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move back 10 feet.
Okay.
And then use one of my invocations to levitate up 20 feet, so I could just maybe see above, hopefully the top of the.
You would,
wall.
because it is a 20-foot high wall.
Okay.
So you
And I
levitate high up in the room, which
And
is
I'll
actually only about 30 feet high, so there's only about 10 feet to work with up there.
And I'll just raise my hands up and call for everyone to stop.
All right, Miss Wren.
I'll get out of the wall of fire,
Okay.
but hearing Reed say stop, I will just ready in action to shoot an arrow at any of the Shadow Kai that attacks one of my allies.
Tensions are high as everyone has readied actions. Barrel.
Barrel.
So
It's hot.
her strength is 20. How far can she jump?
If you get a running start, you can jump 10 feet horizontally. No, 20 feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, vertically, I think it's like 5 or
So
6 feet?
It would be 3 plus your modifier, so it'd be 8 feet vertically.
Okay, so you could do an 8-foot
All right.
bear
That's
jump.
a tall
Oh.
fucking jump.
Does it seem like 5, 10, 15, 20? Could she make this jump?
Yeah. That's only like
Okay.
a 15-foot jump, as long as you had the movement to do it.
Yeah, and her movement as a bear is 40, and I've used 20. All right. So I think I'd be like right. Like, is this legal? Am I able to get that much movement?
What's your movement as a bear?
40.
So you moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I think it's a little more than 40, so you might have to dash
Okay,
to do that.
then she dashed.
All
And okay, and if I dashed, I won't stay right up on this guy. She's just gonna
So
whimper because she didn't like the
You provoke an Oppie, but he does not take it, still readying his action.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, she's just gonna kind of whimper because she didn't like the fire and look around because she's confused because she started attacking because Miss Wren and
All right, these
had
two,
attacked, but now, yeah,
these three look very nervous as you get closer, tightening their bow grips.
she's not like threatening me. Like she's more whimpering than like roaring right now.
All right, so that would be, how long does this last? Firewall, 10 minutes?
At least a minute.
only 1 minute. Okay, so there's a timer on it. So Arden looks at the group, or those of you he can see anyway, and he says, "Do you yield? Stand down. I will not ask again." Is anyone attacking, or are we ending the battle?
We have not made it back around to Sim yet, I think, so that remains to be seen. But everybody else has made their intention.
I guess Sim would be next, so what do you think, Sim? Do you want to try to break free and attack, or are you going to stand down for now?
Man.
You are currently being held by Mei Jun.
Yeah.
Doesn't keep you from attacking, but...
Oh boy.
It's a standoff. Everyone's got readied actions. Well, not everyone, but a bunch of people.
Oh man.
Decisions.
I'm gonna cast.
What are you casting?
This time Eldritch Blast.
Alright, so that will provoke several actions from the enemy as you begin
sure will.
casting. This one is going to whip at Miss Wren.
No, he's not. What's his reach?
10 feet. Oh,
That's
it's got 15
feet.
Alright, so
Yeah.
never mind, he's not. So those guys are actually all at range. This guy is going to fire at you with his bow.
Okay.
Not at you, it's Sim,
Yep.
Oh,
as he is casting a
Is
spell.
it Sim grapple?
well then that
Yep, that just makes my speed 0.
Yeah, that just stops
That
him
will
from
trigger-
moving.
will trigger my attack on him if he shoots at him.
No, that's fine. So you shoot and he shoots.
Oh goodness.
And Sim shoots.
And actually,
Pheromones.
all three of them are shooting, actually. And yeah, Miss Wren can shoot as well. So this guy will go first. He'll take a shot. Well, actually, no. Miss Wren would go first. Order of the triggers. So Miss Wren, use your reaction and take a shot at. You said the one that's shooting, right?
Yeah, the one that shoots at him, yeah.
Okay.
Oh no! It's a bad time for a 2.
Oh man.
Yeah, unfortunately, a 6 will not hit him as he dodges to the side. So you spend your reaction. This guy spends his reaction. And he He fires at Sim. But he misses, not rolling very well. This one is going to fire at Miss Wren as she is firing at his friend.
And I just used my reaction.
Oh no.
You did, and he just rolled a crit.
Oh, wow.
So, luckily it's just a longbow, so it's not that bad. No sneak attack or anything. 17 points of damage.
Okay, there goes all my temp hit points.
Yep.
And 8 from my hit points. Okay.
Miss Wren, that one shoots at you as well and misses. And you said you were firing at which one? Sim?
Oh, I'm firing at Arden, of course. I want to see how many concentration checks in a row he can make.
Alright, you take shots at Arden.
It only has to make one.
Ah,
So the first one would miss him, or the first one would hit him, doing 13 damage as he kind of sidesteps the other two and will make his con save. He does make it, holding the spell for now. And that is it for Sim.
I'm going to keep pushing him. If I landed one of those Eldritch Blasts, I can push him 10 feet back.
Alright, he goes back 10 feet. Mei June.
Oh, man. Beryl, have you used daylight before? In my presence?
No,
Oh.
Beryl hates that spell. She only used it because she saw you guys trying to put out light, and she thought maybe these guys wouldn't like it.
They don't seem too affected by it.
Yeah, it probably affects Beryl more than it affects them at this point,
Yeah.
but she didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's why she shifted right away.
But I do know... Okay, but I do know enough about them. Okay. Fucking hell.
I haven't even had it prepared until quite recently.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is there space enough between the wall of fire and the rubble of pillar that is closest to me that I could comfortably move between them?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say 5,
Alright,
10.
hang on a second. As you get there, this guy uses an Oppie.
Fuck.
Whoosh, as he lets his chain go forward. Oh, wait, would that actually provoke it?
No, I think that's still 10 feet.
Well, he does have.
He has
10
the
foot
reach, but I know he was preparing for something else. Never mind. You can move through there.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15.
Alright, now you provoked an opportunity attack because you left his square. So now he will whip you. Whoosh.
Okay.
Doing a spike chain attack. But he only rolls a 9 as you duck under it. Whew. 9 and a crit.
Oh, it's dope. So 5, 10, 15. Once I get to here, can I kick this torch into the pit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll just.
Alright, so the torch
Bomb.
goes falling down the pit and can no longer be seen,
Okay. So 5, 10, 15.
making this area dark now. Well, actually, I guess daylight's still lighting it up.
Yep. 5, 10, 15.
I mean, the wall of fire is opaque, but I imagine you get at least dim.
Yeah, and
wall of fire.
the wall of fire probably lights it up too.
Yep. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. How many diagonals did I do? Just one? No. 5, 10, 20, 30. I did 2. Fuck. So that's actually 40 feet. Okay. I don't know if I have anything that would do this. Actually, yeah, we'll try this. Okay. I will dash here. Which may provoke Nappy from the other guy, I don't know.
Yeah, he'll use his reaction. Whoosh. So he does a spike chain attack. Wow. 8 versus AC. That's some amazing rolls from them right now. So yes, that would miss.
Okay.
Whoosh.
Would it require action economy to attempt to cover the daylight with like a bedroll or something like that?
So the bedroll is probably in your backpack. You probably have to use an action to draw it, and then an item interaction to use it.
Okay.
Because I don't think
It
you
is-
have
I
it
believe
like on your.
It's strapped to the top, but it would still be awkward to get it off. Okay. So I will use action surge to accomplish that, and I will throw my bedroll over the daylight, saying aloud, fuck, what would I say? God damn it. I think I'm just gonna say, get out of here so that way we can discuss this more later.
All right.
I think that's
So you action surge and cover the daylight.
Yep.
So for now, I will put it to a different layer, unlighting the room. The shadow dancers go. Mei June, give me a persuasion check with disadvantage, actually.
God. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna use my last inspiration.
Okay. So it is a wash. Ooh. So this guy here is going to.
Oh, and actually, hold on. I didn't say so. I recognize that I didn't attack anybody last turn. Well, no, because I wouldn't want to come off aggressive. Fuck. I'm about to get hit like a truck. Okay, carry on.
So this guy is going to step here, and he is going to chain whip Sim, whoosh, doing, I think, 2 attacks. Oh, 3 attacks. 3 spike chain attacks. Whoosh, 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 as he dances around. Let's see, 16 and 15 would miss, but I believe a 21 would hit you.
Yep.
Alright, so he is going to use an ability when he hits you to try to deal extra necrotic damage, unless you can make a DC 14 saving throw.
Which ability?
Dexterity.
Well, let's see.
Oh,
Nope.
Alright, so he would do spike chain damage, which is 12 piercing and a couple of d10s for the necrotic. $19 points necrotic damage as his chain surges with necrotic energy. So a pretty nasty hit. This one here is going to yell something in Elven.
What does he say?
Yeah.
He yells, "This is it! Fight for your lives!" And he moves here, and he is going to whip at Miss Wren. So he does 3 attacks. 14, 13, and a 23 on the last one.
So the last one hits.
Alright, so he strikes you for 11 piercing, and he is going to grapple you, or at least, let's see. Yeah, so he is going to grapple you.
All right.
Oh, wait, sorry. You do get to make a dex save. to see if he can grapple you. DC 14. Yeah, you're fine. So as the chain's wrapping around you, you kind of flip sideways and unwrap it. He curses. This one here is going to move here and try to do the same thing. So, spike chains. First attack, unfortunately, is a crit, which will do 17 damage, and I need a dex save. So 11 is not enough, and he is going to grapple you. You are restrained.
Grappled? Oh.
Grappled and restrained. It's a special grapple. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained, and the Shadow Dancer can't grapple another target, so he wraps you up in the chain, basically.
With this being a chain, can I move closer to him, just not further away, or is it? Because I know some of the grapples are like that.
Well, it just says it's grapple and restrained, and the grapple would stop movement. I think restrained does too, so I'm guessing you can't move at all till you break it.
All right.
This guy, seeing that you're tied up, is going to come over this way and do some whipping. He would have advantage. First attack is a 16, which would miss. Second attack, though, with advantage is a 25. So he does 10 piercing. And
how much?
10 piercing.
Okay.
And he is going to make you do another dex save. You are at disadvantage because you're restrained. And he will hit you with necrotic energy. So you'll take 13 points of necrotic damage. And these three are going to take some shots, I think, at Sim.
At me.
Come at me. 1, 2,
Be
3. No, all three of them would miss. You think these three might not actually be Shadow Dancers, but just Shadow Kai soldiers. So that's it for the Shadow Dancers / soldiers. Reed, what do you want to do? Miss Wren is getting beaten up pretty bad.
I'm getting pummeled.
Yeah.
They all just wrapped her in the chains and are just smacking the hell out of her.
Well, you know. I don't know.
If you've ever felt anything for me, Reed,
I've never felt anything for you.
ow.
Ooh.
Fuck.
You know what? It hurts, but I had
He
to
only
hear
has eyes for Dinara and Lyra.
it. Right.
And the other ones.
Yes.
But
I
not
would have
Miss
named
Wren.
more, but I don't think there were any other names.
Melody. Miss Wren is just a little too crazy for Reed.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
multiple personalities. It's yeah.
And never play a bard in this group. Can you imagine how bad the stereotyping would be then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Synaptic Static right on this square here.
Alright, so there is an explosion of energy. What's the radius of that? 20 feet?
20 feet.
Go ahead and pull on the spell radius.
Okay. Foot cube, I guess, or no, 20-foot spell radius. There we go. Well, fine.
All right.
Look like I can get everybody, but I'll
Close
just put
enough.
it there. Yeah.
All right, so that's everyone but that bottom guy. What's the damage? Well, I guess link the spell description and the damage.
Yep.
Here it is. All right. So DC 18. That is not going to bode well for them. So these two just die. Their heads explode.
Oh, Jesus.
This guy, Arden, actually made his saving throw and takes 16? Yeah, 16. He says, "No!" as he sees his men dying. He looks at you very angrily, Reed. Starts approaching.
Damage should still proc another concentration save.
All right, Con. Yep. So he would indeed make the save as he continues to hold his spell. Anything else,
Wow.
Oh, he made it 17 or higher?
Reed? No, he only took.
It's DC 10 to maintain the concentration.
Yeah, he only took 16
'cause
because he
took
made the
half
save.
damage.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna stay where I am.
All right, Miss Wren, you're in a bad.
All right,
I was just noticing that the spell save on the spell card doesn't match the spell save on the first output, and I've experienced this in other games too, like where that doesn't always match in Roll20. So watch that. Do you see how the actual spell description?
I assumed it's 18, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's fine. I think maybe because I clicked it, it acted weird.
No, I've been noticing it with Betha's spells that they're wrong. So yeah.
Well, in any case.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, Miss Wren?
I am fumbling around, trying to get a hand on the hilt of Shadow Strider. Am I able to do it?
Yeah. I don't think being restrained stops you from taking item interactions.
Since you said I'm wrapped up in the chain. All right, so I take my bonus action to teleport right here.
Oh wait, actually, restrain doesn't even stop you from doing attacks. It just gives you. All right, so you poof, freeing yourself from both the grapple and the restrained.
All right, so holding the bow in one hand, I want to punch him with the other hand.
All right. So you take
an
unarmed strike. Whap. I assume at this guy. 18 would strike. He tries to dodge, but you're too quick.
I'd like to attempt a stunning strike.
All right. So he must make a con save, right?
Yeah, and it's 15.
So
15? Hang on.
He rolls an 11 and is stunned.
All right, then. With my second attack, I would like to attempt to kick him into the pit.
So shove attack?
Yep.
All right. Does stun do anything? Let's see. Stun.
Take actions or reactions?
I think you automatically fail Dex and Strength.
Dex and Strength.
Dex and Con?
No, Dex and
Fail
Strength.
Strength and Dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Incapacitated. Can't move. I don't think. Where's incapacitated? Let me check that one.
I think that one only says you can't take actions or reactions. It's a gray area, that's for sure.
Right. It's a question of whether you think that contested athletics is a reaction or not, or it's not mechanically a reaction, I guess. So.
Or a save, yeah.
So I'll say. Because stunned isn't necessarily like you can't do anything. You're not helpless. It's just really hard to do things. I'll say maybe he can just do a strength. He can't use dex for this.
All right. It's a strength for me, though, right?
Yeah, so you'd have to use strength, but I'll say he'll have to use strength as well. Instead of strength or dex.
Advantage?
Not from what I'm seeing. It's just attack rolls. It doesn't say skill checks. So he will attempt to push back against you. Yeah, this is kind of a gray area. I don't think he's going to do very well.
That's a good roll.
Specifically, it's athletics as opposed to a strength save. I'm not sure what the modifiers will vary.
Yeah. So it would only be, I think, plus your strength modifier.
Oh, sorry. I rolled a save. It should not have been a save. My fault. It's athletic. It is an athletics check.
Yeah, it's an athletics check.
My modifier is the same for athletics
you
as
have
for strength
proficiency?
saves. Is that
Oh,
okay?
Yeah, that's fine. So he would
Good. I didn't want to roll again.
automatically fail his save to try to grab on and fall down the pit.
All right. Now I'd like to action surge.
Give me
Does he take fall damage?
yeah. So give me 3d6 damage.
Ooh.
Nice.
Brutal.
15 bludgeoning. And he is stunned until the end of your or beginning of your next turn, right? Or is it the
No,
end?
end of my next
End.
turn.
All right. So and what are you doing now?
I'm going to action surge and take a shot at this one.
All right. So you take your bow and fire at him.
And it will be sharpshooter.
All right, 23 minus 5, 18. Yes, that would strike him.
I'll make it a bursting arrow.
Okay.
So he takes that, and then they both take.
So he takes 18 plus
That.
3, 21. Ugh. And they both take how much?
8. Not the sharpshooter again, but the 8 force.
So they both take 8. Ugh. All right, and that's it for you.
Yep.
All right, barrel. Roar. Top of the round.
Oh wait, I had another shot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did have another shot.
With your bonus action,
No, I had 2 attacks, so I did action surge, so that gave
Didn't
me 2
you,
more.
Oh, yeah.
oh, you action surged. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, but
nope.
it doesn't matter.
Harsh.
Get
it out of the way.
Ouch.
Forget I said anything.
All right. Barrel. What are you doing?
So I think Ren's in a better position now than she was, but Beryl was all ready to run to her aid when she was getting pummeled. So I think I will continue that course of action. Can I charge at these guys and try and push one of them into the pit?
So you could do a shove attack. You don't have to charge to do that. It's basically just contested strength versus their strength or dex.
I didn't know if the charge would put some additional force behind
but-
it or make it a higher DC for them.
Not
No,
unless
there's
you
a
actually
feat
have
for
a
that.
charge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the charge feat actually gives you a thing, or the animal class.
Oh,
the
that's
animal.
a feat,
Some animals
okay.
Yeah,
have a
they're,
feature.
they're yeah, like deer and shit like that, I think.
Yeah, if the bear doesn't have a charge feature, then probably not.
I do often give reaction saving throw to keep them from falling.
Oh, actually, I think there's a guy enrolling about this. I just forget what it is because it never comes up about charges.
Oh, well, if you charge attack someone, you can double your strength or double your ability score modifier damage.
There you go. That's what it is.
If you do an attack.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to push, and I can only shove one of them. I can't
Yes. As
I
far
can't
as
come at this guy and hope that they knock
mean,
each other in.
if you have 2 attacks, you can do 2 shove attacks. But as far as I know, you can't shove multiple creatures with just because
The bear does have multi-attack.
Yeah, so you could replace any of those attacks with a shove attack.
All right, then yeah, I will try to shove the guy that's closest to the edge in.
Roar. Alright, he's gonna contest with Dex.
I figured.
Nimbly bimbly.
He is very
Bears are
nimble.
strong. This might go well. D20 is high variant.
Yeah.
Oh, not in the right direction.
So you both rolled poorly, but he rolled better poorly. 9 versus 8,
I will
he would
try
win.
again.
9
Then I
versus
will try
8.
again.
Oh, man, that's rough.
Alright, so you take a second shove. Roar. That's a little bit better.
It's a lot of bit better.
Let's see.
That's 19, right? Yeah.
So he rolls poorly again. And I'm going to give him a dex save.
Well, they're good at those, I think.
Yeah, they're very good at them. But Barrel's not the most strategic, so I went for it.
So he would fall prone at the edge. Ugh, as he barely manages to hold on.
Yep.
Yeah, he will have to make a athletics check to climb out. He's basically holding onto the edge with his hands.
And does that...
I'm going to...
Were you saying that check requires a reaction, or it does not? Recovery.
Well, I don't know if I usually provoke a reaction. I guess I could use a reaction for that.
I don't think that you have. You had just...
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he's hanging on. He's not... Right. He's basically prone, but another hit will put him in if he doesn't get help or someone doesn't, help him out.
I'm going to give a big... You see how the bear is roaring? Like, imagine that right in his face. Nice, powerful blast. And that's my turn.
Alright. So, Arden seems enraged as he looks at his dead soldiers. He looks at Reed with murderous intent. And he steps forward, chanting.
Yeah, he's fucking levitating.
Yeah. He steps forward as he begins chanting. And he would have to go 10 more feet. At the end of his chant, he points at you. And you see a white beam shoot forward towards you. Or sorry, a thin green ray springs from his fingertip. I need a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh.
I'm ready.
I'm going to use an inspiration, I think.
It's probably a good idea.
17?
Be enough.
17. What was his DC? I just had it. Sorry. One moment. Artificial.
Attention mouse.
Artificial tension being inserted by the GM.
Close up. Soundtrack swells.
Yeah. The camera moves to each character as there's like, no!
Close-ups of widening eyes and indrawn breaths.
Yeah. I think that would... I was just looking at this. Where is it? I think that would be just enough. I think his DC is literally 17 for that.
Well, the number you need.
Alright. So you would take 68 halved is 34 damage.
Jesus.
I need a calculator here.
And he still seems very annoyed, but that is it for him. Sim.
Well, my bonus action spent, unfortunately, on healing up the monk. Please take 18 hit points.
Thank you. I will take that gladly.
Yep, and then another Eldritch Blast at the caster, because I really want that wall of fire out of the way before I do anything else fancy. So let's give that a shot. Stop making your stupid concentration saves. Aren't you supposed to be a squishy caster?
So the third one would strike, dealing another 12 force. He would make d20 check. He would fail that one. And the wall would go down.
Great. I will expend a little movement to maneuver around this Shadow Dancer. That's it from me.
Mei June.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm on the wrong cursor. Fuck, I've really lost some leverage here. Okay. I am going to turn back towards Arden and briefly just yell his name. And I'll say, Arden! And I'll start running. 5, 10, 15, 20. And I'll continue the phrase. I'll say, 5 for 5! 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I would like to throw this torch into the pit.
Give me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
And I'm all out of...
Oh man.
I'm
all out of chewing gum.
I'm so lost without you. Ooh. He looks at his dead soldiers and at you, and he says, "You will all die here."
Yep, that's fair. Yep. Well, in any case, the torch isn't all now.
How free is speech?
Speech is not an action. As long as you don't do more than 6 seconds worth per round.
Okay, I think I think when I hear Meijun continuing to bargain, I will just call into the battle. If we take those 5 back, we will never see the rest.
Okay, I will... Fuck, I don't know what I want to do with anything, really. Okay, actually... this is a gamble for sure. Anyways, so I'll respond if I can, and I'll say, at this rate we may never see any of them. And I would like to use my action to help the dangling Shadow Dancer up off the edge.
Yeah. So you give him a bonus, probably advantage to his next, or actually make an athletics check, and we'll see how well you do.
Okay, unfortunately not raging.
Feel pretty good.
All right, so you sort of, and you, I'll probably say you'd use your, I don't know, would you use your reaction for this? I'll say you're helping him.
I will use my full action for that.
Yeah, I guess if you use your action, yeah, that's fine. So you use your action to kind of grab him and pull him up very easily. He's actually pretty light. And they go...
Wow, this is ambiguous.
This is one of the most interesting fights I've ever had.
So, the guy down the pit, I think, is still stunned until the
Yep.
end of Miss Ren's turn.
Stunned
What an
and
eventful
prone.
fight.
And I think that there's 2 torches down there. If they're still...
He might be on fire. Right?
No, I think you have to
No,
actually
not that
poke somebody.
Yeah.
If he took fire damage, it's like 1.
Yeah.
Alright,
The
so...
torch
There's
him on the
he's
head.
lying. He's stunned, lying on the ground,
like,
and there's a torch on top of him. He's like,
Fuck my
He's
life.
like, nah, I don't like it.
So this one looks confused as he's kind of looking at you. Then he looks at the bear who pushed him in. He's going to attack her, I think. Whoosh.
Is he still dangling?
No, he got pulled up by Meijun.
Oh, okay.
What a weird fight.
So he's like,
It's like diplomacy / violence fight. All right, so yeah, he's going to attack you 3 times. First one,
okay.
actually, he is going to... Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to be here. So I'm going to say
He'll hit all 3 times.
he's going to move this way, which would give Meijun an Oppi if he wants to take it. Or actually, I don't think your weapon's out right now. So I guess you could try to grab him if you wanted.
He walked away. Oh no, he didn't. There he is.
The dogs. My brother came home. Reaction?
So this guy walked away from you, which you don't have a weapon out, I don't think, but you could try to grab him or something.
oh wait, I'm sorry, did Arden move?
Yes, so
He
he probably
did,
would have
didn't
taken some...
Yeah, he
one
would
more
have
round of
taken.
it.
He would have taken 6 more points of damage.
All right. Another 6.
Hey, that's another instance of damage. That's alright, the wolf gone.
Yeah, he's not concentrating on the one.
Emotional damage.
So yeah, are you gonna grab him or are you gonna let him go, Major?
Well, so actually, I do have my Guandao in one hand, just because I don't have. There's no place to stow it, but I would let him go.
Okay. So Barrel, you are attacked. 15 versus AC, I believe, would hit you.
Oh yeah. I'm sure he'll hit all three.
13 piercing, and I need a dex save. Uh, 15 would make it.
No, I need to use the bear. Sorry. I mean, we can use my previous roll, but he wouldn't have had the modifier, so it would have been 11.
Oh, right, because you take on the
Yeah.
physical attributes.
Yeah.
So that would not be enough, unfortunately, and he is going to choose to restrain and grapple you.
He can do that on a creature larger than him.
Huh? He can do what?
He can do that.
Oh, yeah, is
on
that a large size
creature larger than him?
Chains are pretty big.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but-
it's a chain.
A lot of
Okay.
abilities from the size limits, though.
I thought the size limit for grapple was 2 sizes larger.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, no. Oh,
I'm just
maybe-
picturing this. I'm just
I just meant
picturing
the
this
spectator
Dexy
ability.
little guy and the
Yeah.
huge, strong.
If it's
Yeah.
not too, actually, I think the restriction on grapple and restrain, I don't think there actually is a size issue.
Oh, no, I didn't mean generally. I just meant on the special ability they're using to do the grapple.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about a size limit on that.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
All you
wait.
really have to do to grapple somebody is get them by the leg or something like that, and then they can't move.
Well, no, I think
Really?
No.
I think there is a rule because
Yeah.
if you're medium and you try to grapple something that's huge, it can just carry you along with it.
Yeah, I think there's a limit on that, but I do think someone may have been reading up on their grapples. But yes, you're right. It can only be a medium or smaller. So he is instead going to do some necrotic damage.
Yeah. You're welcome, Daryl. Damage.
Yeah, you're welcome, Barrel. Take 27.
27. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's then going to whip you a second time, but at least you're not tied up. That was
Oh,
27.
I'm not.
No,
Yeah,
he.
yeah.
I made a mistake. He can only do. He was right. You can only do
So,
medium or small.
okay. Okay.
So second attack. Spike chain. Natural 1. Nope, totally misses you. And third attack is 13 versus AC, which I think hits
That
you.
hurt. Yeah.
Doing 7 piercing, and you need to make another dex save. So he's going to do the necrotic damage again because he can't grapple you. 17, 24, 31. 31 damage as he channels a bunch of necrotic energy in.
Okay. Bear goes poof.
Oh, no.
So you take 27
24.
or 24? Alright, go ahead and
Yeah.
drag yourself back on. I'll add you to the initiative. And yeah, you take 24. And do you remember what your initiative was?
21 something,
21.
I think.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I was after Miss Ren, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so 21. Gotcha. You're back in. Alright, so you took a little bit of a hit. This one here is going to
Throw
kind of
kisses.
look confused at Meijun and look at Beryl, and I guess he's probably going to go for Beryl because he's not sure if Meijun is a friend or enemy. Whoosh.
Do either one of these look injured?
Not yet, no.
Really?
So, Spike Chain. No, these guys are actually like warrior types. Oh, I
The
forgot. So these
the
guys
ones that were killed by the.
Yeah, those were soldiers. Those weren't actual shadow dancers.
Oh, so they. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see. They'll.
yeah. These
they'll
guys
the
look.
same to me.
You all look the same. Yeah, those guys are like elites. These guys are elites. Those guys were more like foot soldiers. So this one, how high up are you, Reed?
20 feet.
Yeah, he can't really do anything about that. Although... No. Well, I guess he could... That would be weird. I think this guy is going to use his bonus action to teleport. Shadow jump. So he goes 30 feet, because there's no light anymore, to here. And he's going to go for Miss Ren. Taking 3 swipes with his BS multi-attack. 13 versus AC.
Nope.
Alright, so you duck under it as he spins around. 18 versus AC.
That hits.
Alright, 13 piercing, and I need a dex save.
Naughty.
Uh, 14 would be just enough, so you manage to keep from getting wrapped up. And a third attack. 24 versus AC.
Yup.
Alright, so you're struck for another 12, and I need another dex save. That is unfortunately not enough, and he is going to try to take you down. So he does necrotic energy damage. 26. Which I
I'm
think
down.
would put you unconscious, give you a level of exhaustion. You drop your bow, and yeah, that's it for him. This one here is going to take 3 attacks on Sim.
Aye.
First one is a 19 versus AC.
It's exactly.
Alright, so he is gonna... he is gonna do 9 piercing, not the best hit. The second one is a crit.
Ow.
So, give me a dex save.
Okay.
Oh, he might crit with this. Oh, he did crit, but... Alright, so you luckily dodged the... because he is channeling the necrotic. He was hoping to double that. But unfortunately for him, he does not, and you only take 9 plus 6, 15 piercing. In the second attack, and his third attack, he rolls a natural 1 and misses. That's it for those guys. This guy is going to move this way. 20. Do you have a weapon out, Beryl? I assume not, because I don't see one in your hand.
No, she was casting, so no.
Alright, so he's going to go here. Which you could try to oppie him if you wanted to use your reaction.
Actually, Beryl is so baffled at Meijian's behavior right now and just confused by this fight, she probably wouldn't have the wherewithal to do so.
Alright, so he's going to bonus action teleport to here. And then he's going to take a dash action to retreat from the battlefield, moving 25 feet down the hallway. And the Shadow Dancer in the pit is still... No, he's unstunned now, right?
Correct.
Alright, so he is going to shake himself off. And attempt to climb out. Which is not going to be easy for him, because they are not super strong. So he begins... Huh? Yeah.
No, never mind. Sorry.
So he's going to make a strength check, untrained. He rolls a 4, failing to climb right now. He's going to attempt again with a dash action.
Wait, I haven't had a turn since I stunned him, right?
I think you had one.
I thought you
You
had
shot-
one. Didn't
Yeah,
you
you
shoot?
you shot the guys across the way.
No, that was my action surge on the same turn.
No, that was a... I thought that was a different turn.
What
I
did
don't
you?
think so.
Maybe it's just been slow. If that's the case, then sure, he's still stunned. Reed.
Yeah.
I feel like we asked the question if he was stunned. Oh, maybe that was when I was counting the guys. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Alright, I think he is still stunned if that was all the same turn.
Yeah.
So Reed, what are you gonna do?
Well,
Arden is still looking angrily at you.
Yeah, well, can't do anything about that. I'm gonna cast Banishment on these two guys.
Alright, so as you begin casting, he is actually going to burn a 3rd level spell to try to counterspell you as a reaction.
Okay. It's 5th level because I'm a warlock,
Yep.
so... Is he burning a 5th level?
No, he's burning a 3rd, so he's going to have to make a check.
Yeah.
And if you guys are casting a spell when there's a counterspeller, just let me know so I can decide before I hear the spell to make it fair. So then if you're casting a cantrip, I guess technically like you could just do that to proc that and then change the spell to whatever you want. So I'll try to be fair. He actually was sort of ignoring Sim because Sim was blasting with Eldritch Blasts. 9 plus... no, he would fail, so you get your spell off. And curses. So they have to make charisma saves, right?
I think so.
Alright. So they don't have a terrible charisma save, actually. One of the few creatures that actually has a trained charisma save. One of them would make it, the other one would fail. So the first one down here is banished. You can put a timer on that because it's 1 minute. But this guy would resist.
Well, they're not from this plane, right?
Yeah,
No,
but you still have to hold it.
Yeah,
you
you
have to
still have to-
concentrate for the whole minute for
Yeah.
them to be gone.
If he,
Okay.
And we might not want them to be gone.
Yeah.
Or because he might go tell
Sure.
them to kill our friends.
And I'm gonna move, just drag myself 15 feet along this wall.
Alright.
Drag.
So that's the end of the round. Miss Wren.
Death save.
20.
Oh, I had you down as prone, not unconscious. Fuck.
That's one save.
Alright, so
Alright.
you make one pulling away from the darkness. Beryl.
Well, Beryl's seen these chains and knows she can't move away from this guy without taking some damage. Which means she can't quite get close enough to Sin. I'm gonna do a level. Let me find it here. Well, it's the staff is the mass cure wounds. I have to be 30 feet. And I can't get that close to Sin, and Sin and Ren have taken the most damage, I think. But anyway, so she's gonna do a level 5 healing word on Miss Ren.
Alright,
Thank you.
so you channel a healing word, trying to heal Miss Wren of the damage dealt.
Oh, did that? Oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah. Level 5. Not very impressive for a level 5 spell slot, but
Wow.
Well, I mean, you did. That's way over average. So
Yeah.
17
Well, you know, I'm used
points
to
of
beta.
healing. Yeah, well, Beryl is a
Oh, yeah.
feral druid. So you gain 17. She's a barrel.
let's see here. And then let me mark off that spell slot. That was a bonus action. So I think as an action, I will try to thorn whip this guy forward into the pit.
Well, Thorn Whip can only pull. It wouldn't actually pull him into the pit because he would only come up to here, I believe. I don't think you could pull things past you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Barrel's just really confused right now. So
If you step back 5 feet, you could do it.
yeah, if I do that, then he's gonna oppie me.
Yeah.
All right.
He's just waiting with his chain spinning around him.
Yeah. And you said he's 25
Come
feet
here.
down.
Yeah, he's basically 25
feet
feet
away, yeah.
off the battlefield right now, running down the hall.
All right. Yeah, I don't. I've already used my bonus action.
I need an answer, or else you will lose your turn to indecision. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think she'll go ahead and now. So okay, you've ruled different ways, different sessions on this one. So let me just clarify again. Wild Shape can be an action or a bonus action for Moon Druid, right? Because you've gone back and forth on this ruling.
I think. Well, no, I think it even says May, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
rules is written. You
That's
can do that.
yeah.
Okay.
Rules is written as May, so it's your
Alright.
choice.
All right, then she becomes a constrictor snake, and that's my turn. I'll pull it out here.
All right, so you transform into a giant constrictor snake.
Oh, that's huge. Okay.
So you're 21, and barrel goes away. All right, so Arden goes. He looks at Reed,
Yep,
Looks
he's
at-
got a hard on for me, doesn't he?
looks at May June, and barrel. Can you do this? I'm just doing pulling this out for no
Geometry?
particular reason. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing to see here. Oh, Miss Ren, just out of range. I think he is really mad at Reed, so he is going to hurl a fireball.
God damn it.
So that gets his ally too, right?
Oh, he's
No,
down the
that
hall.
goes down the hall.
25 feet away, yeah.
He's running.
He's 25
I'm sorry,
feet
I was
further than
unconscious.
me.
Didn't
Uh,
notice I was unconscious.
Yeah, the other guy's banished, so this is definitely the play, I think, for him. Alright, so Meijun and Reed, there is a huge explosion of fire near you. Give me deck saves.
Oh.
Oh,
Ruh-roh. So Reed, you
solid.
make it. Unfortunately, Meijun does not. And damage. So Meijun, you take 48 fire. Reed, you take 24. As you are burned by a large fiery explosion. And apparently Reed must make a concentration check. Which is 12. To keep your banishment. Oh no!
I have
Warcaster?
Oh.
Oh, good job. So you feel like you're going to lose it, but your Warcaster training pays off, and you keep that guy banished. That's it for Relic Sim.
Eldritch Blast. This time, the Shadowkai here. Time to push some people into pits. First one's targeting the one right close to me.
Alright.
Where is this? Here we go.
Blast.
yeah.
17 would strike,
Alright.
doing 11
Push it
damage.
10 feet away from me, please.
Alright, he's gonna make a deck save. Deck save.
Really? For a 10-foot push? Wow.
So he is, he grabs the edge as you push him back, and he is hanging on. So he is
So
basically.
So I don't get the 10 feet of push then.
No, he would grab the
Okay.
edge as you're trying to push him in.
Got
But you can shoot him again, which would probably definitely knock him off. Although it would be a
I am attacking with
disadvantage.
disadvantage because it's prone. Well, and I will aim the second bolt at the other Shadow Dancer still standing then.
This guy?
Yes, that one.
Alright, so you take a shot at him.
Oop.
Oh, yeah. So he takes
Likewise, 10 feet.
13. He would look wounded, and he gets pushed 5, 10 to the edge here.
And one more bolt.
Oh yeah, 26. So he takes 13 and makes a dex save to try to not fall. These guys are actually pretty... Oh, well, I was going to say they're really good dex saves, but then he rolled a 2 plus 8, 8. And he goes, give me a 3d6. 8 points of damage. Not as bad a fall as the last one.
Yep, and my bonus action is giving our monk 10 more hit points. Oof, 2 ones there.
Oh, actually, hang on. He is going to make an acrobatics to see if he can fall well. Which he's not trained in, but he does have good dex. So he only takes 5 points. Not the best roll. But he is still prone when he hits the floor.
Only 4 points, sorry. The falling damage was that 3d6 up there. The 4d6 was for healing the monk.
Alright. So
Yep.
4 points. But he is prone because he took damage, and he's at the bottom of the thing. And you heal the monk for 10.
Just 10.
Do I remember correctly that these pits are about 30 feet
Yes.
from our fight with Malik? Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I thought. Okay.
So, yep, they're both hanging on now. Or wait, no, one of them's hanging on, one of them's in the pit.
And I'm going to move here and see if I can see the fleeing one.
Yeah, he is 25 feet off the map, so he's about 35 feet from you at this point. But it does look like he can turn a corner on his turn.
Okay.
Alright, so May June. What are you gonna do?
I got no fucking idea. Fuck, man. This is,
And my speech is, they
Yes,
won't know we're coming if there are no survivors.
Yeah.
okay, I gotta come up with something clever to say for this. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna start moving 5, 10, 20 feet, and then I'm gonna yell out in anger, using a rage again, and I'll say to Sim, there is a fucking difference between fighting with rage and being a murderer. And I would like to attempt to grapple him again.
Alright, go ahead and give me a athletics.
Okay, it's still high enough to be
Meiju's
not strong.
Meiju's heart is not in this anymore. He's like, oh, fuck.
That fireball really hurt.
Alright, so Sim manages to slip away on your grab. Although I think you have more, right?
I do. I will extra attack that.
Extra attack?
Or just, I have...
Right.
Oh, yeah,
You can
second
replace
attack.
attacks, you get to
Yeah,
attack,
yeah.
so-
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a much better roll. And unfortunately for Sim, he is grabbed now, as Meijun is very angry.
I forgot where I was. I think I was here, so 5, 10, 20, 25... That's not enough. Well, hang on a minute. If I move, yes. Okay, yeah, because I have 15 left. Okay, and I will then spend double movement, so it's 10 feet as opposed to 5, to push Sim back 1 and also myself.
Oh, so he can't kill that guy who's retreating.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, so you push Sim back. Like, no murdering that guy. Did you push him back 1 or 2?
Just 1. I don't have enough movement to do
All right,
2.
so he can still target that guy from just 1.
Oh, he can't.
Because
yeah, I was thinking.
one of the corners of his square would touch the corner of the other guy's square down the hall. And you would know that.
From where he's at right now, he can see down the hall.
Yes, because as long as at least one, because he doesn't take up the whole 5-foot area. As long as at least one corner of your square touches one corner of your target square, you can target them.
But it would be more difficult, correct?
Yeah. Well.
But depending on what he was trying to, if he was trying to shoot something, or
I don't.
There's got to be some cover.
I don't know, well, because usually if you're standing on a corner, you can just fire around the corner. Being on a corner doesn't provide your enemy with cover, it just gives you cover from them. Because you can move anywhere within the 5-foot square during your turn for free.
Okay, so then here's a follow-up question. I could choose to use my own body as the cover in a situation like that if I felt so
Yes,
inclined.
you definitely could do that. You could try to put yourself in front to make it harder.
Alright, I think that's as much as I can get, so that's what we're doing.
Alright. Mei Jun has gone. The Shadow Dancers go.
If I could... Well, hold on, I don't even know. No, I already talked to Sim. God damn it. Okay, I was going to say some more stuff to Arden, but there's not enough time.
Alright, so this guy is going to try to climb out of the pit. Doing an athletics check, which is basically just his strength. He rolled a 19, so he indeed is able to pull himself up, which would be 10 feet. Then he loses half his movement to stand up, and he is going to, let's see, 10, his movement is 30, so he had 15 left. So now he has 5 left. I don't think he can do much. He is going to... I see a double move. Yeah, he'll just run down this way. 5, 10, 15, 20. And kind of engage Sim here. The guy down the pit will finally get a chance to go. He's been stunned for a while. So he's going to try to climb out. Strength check. Nope. He does another dash attempting to climb again. That one he made, so he climbs 15 feet up. So he is about halfway out. This one down here is going to stand up using half his movement. He's going to try to climb with the remaining 15, which would get him up 5 feet if he makes it. He did, so he climbs 5 feet, then he attempts to dash to climb another 15, which he would not make, and he is stuck down at negative 25 feet down the pit. Which I'm going to put this thing so I remember. He's at negative 25. This guy's at negative 15. And the guy down the hall is gonna run out of sight. And that's it for the Shadow Dancer Force. Reed.
I'm gonna stop concentrating on my levitate.
Okay.
End it as just free action.
Wait.
Oh, actually, this brings up a good question.
Yeah, you wouldn't have
You
been
const-
levitating anymore because you cast banishment, so you would have
Oh yeah, I
floated
forgot.
to the ground.
So I'll say you were already on the ground. Luckily, it didn't really matter because it was just a
Yeah.
fireball.
I'm gonna get behind this pillar and shoot some Eldritch Blast at this guy.
Alright. So you send some Eldritch Blast his way.
Display, not cast. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Oh, crit.
Oh, crit. Nice.
Oh, so he takes 18. Are you a pusher? I think you are, right?
nope.
Oh, you're not?
That's me.
I thought
I
he was.
was,
Black.
but I
was-
switched it up.
Oh, you
Three.
changed it. Okay. So first one would strike him for 18, but he would dodge the second one. Huh.
And third one.
And the third one would strike as well, doing another 15, and he's looking wounded. Oh. Actually, several of them are looking pretty wounded now. That's it for Reed. End of the round. Switch over to Miss Wren. You are prone, but you are alive.
Yep, so I stand up using half my movement. I don't pick up Vile Song. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll spend a key point to dash as a bonus action.
Okay. Ah, you run up to him.
I do. And I draw Shadow Strider.
Alright.
First attack with Shadow Strider.
18 would be enough. However, I think he's going to shield.
Ooh.
Using his reaction, knocking away your attack. Second
Alright.
attack.
Yeah, unarmed.
No,
Nope.
he would shield that one as well. And I think you bonused action, so you can't do a third, right?
That is correct.
Alright, so that is it for Miss Wren. Bear roll. Was actually, you need a snake roll. Or hiss roll or something.
Roll for hiss.
She's in Snarl now.
And snare roll, there it is.
Arrow, that's
that's
pretty
I
good.
can't. No, that
yeah.
was Reed. That was Reed that came up with that one. That was
And
beautiful.
snare roll.
Excellent.
Alright.
All right. So he shielded, and that lasts to his next turn, doesn't it?
Yes.
Let's see. All right. She's gonna go with. She doesn't understand what all's going on here, but she trusts Miss Wren. So, she's gonna try and constrict this guy.
And snare roll. Alright, so you attack him.
Oh god, that was bad.
He knocks you back with the first attack.
I mean, I've got flank, but yeah. I think that the snake only gets one.
Okay. So for his turn.
Yep, that's my turn. Yeah.
For his turn. What can he do?
Surrender.
No.
Not his style.
This guy's gone at this point.
Is he? How far
This
away is
guy
that corner he turned? Oh, how far away is the corner he turned?
So he went about
35
feet, so another 10 feet, then turned the corner. But it was a dash, so he moved 60 feet. So he's pretty far away at this point. Not like you definitely can't get him, but yeah.
Still gonna try. Anyway. It's hard.
Yeah.
Danger.
So he. He seems conflicted as he's kind of looking at his wounded soldiers. And then he looks at his dead troops, and he says, I shall trade you for your soldiers if you stop this attack. seeming a little desperate. And he is still on guard, but he does not attack this turn. Instead, looks like he is readying some kind of spell. Sim.
Oh, man. Gonna spend a bonus action to cast Far Step.
Where are you far stepping?
Down the hall. I want to see around the corner where the fleeing one left.
I think you have to be able to see where you're going with Far Step.
I have 120 feet of dark vision.
Yeah, so you can see to the corner.
Right, I want to see to the. I want to get to the corner, or to where I can see like around the corner of the.
Go ahead and
one turn.
Go ahead and link Far Step. All right. So you cast Far Step and teleport to the corner, and you would see the soldier kind of rushing away.
How far?
He's about 40 feet from you at this point.
Well, Eldritch Blast.
Alright, so... How far are you? 60 feet? So he... Alright, so you blast. Go ahead and do your attack rolls. Alright, so he is struck for 8, 11, and the third shot would finish him off. Oh. Arden is going to... see you do that.
Can you see that far?
Well, he saw you teleport away and he probably heard a bunch of casting. He is going to vanish.
If he okay, so depending on how he vanished, he still might take damage from the grasping arrow.
Alright, so yeah, I guess you'd see. He would cast a spell that tears a rift into some kind of shadowy realm and step through it.
Go after him.
Yeah.
I don't think you can follow him with that spell. Because it doesn't stay open. It basically, he just slips through.
Is that a reaction?
Well...
He's holding it.
He readied a spell.
He readied.
Yeah,
he readied
it was a
the spell,
reaction.
Wow.
So yeah, he is gone. So Sim went. Mei June, what are you gonna do?
Sim is... did he use his full 60 feet of Far Step to get down that hallway, or how far away from me is he?
I think he went... Well, it was, I think 35 feet to the corner.
You don't say.
Alright, this guy is dead.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Mei June?
Okay. That's good. Yeah, nope. I'm gonna run down the hallway at Sim.
So this guy is going to take an Oppie on you
Okay.
at this point. So he does a spike chain attack. Whoosh. Well, that's an 8, so he would completely miss you.
Okay.
It's like feast or famine with these guys.
No kidding. I'm gonna run down the hallway at Swim and attack him recklessly with Great Weapon Master.
Alright, so Sim Meijun rushes at you angrily, and 22, I believe, would hit you, right?
Sure would.
Alright. So you are hit for 25 slashing. Oh.
And let's see. How many things do I have? That wouldn't really matter. Okay. I'm gonna do it again.
Alright, you swing a second time. Oh, geez. Crit.
Fucking critical one!
But you only deal 21. And Sim is looking, I think, badly wounded at this point.
I am still just barely up, but yeah, I got bloodied by that last one.
And then as a bonus action, I'll attempt to hit him with a backswing.
Alright.
And I will use a precision attack for that one.
Okay. This would be a knockout, I believe. Well, go ahead, roll your d8. Let's
Your
see.
choice.
Do you want to go for lethal or, subdual?
Well, fuck, the trust really isn't there anymore. God damn it. I'm gonna say between the mistrust and the rage, I am shooting for a lethal.
Alright, so he is unconscious. Anything else, Meijun?
No.
Unconscious, dying. The Shadow Dancer is going to... So you two are down the hall right now. So I'll just put you here. This guy is very confused now, as he just saw you attack your friend. He kind of looks at Miss Wren, looks at Reed, looks at the big snake. He is going to... I think he's going to try to retreat, actually, since he thinks like maybe Meijun is helping him out. So he's going to go 10, 15, and dash down the hall. Meijun, are you going to let him pass?
Oh, let him pass.
Alright, so he does...
As he passes... Man, fuck, what do you even say at this point?
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Good game.
Good game. Good game. Good game. High five.
Good
High five. High five.
I'm
Little league game.
gonna, yeah,
High
I'm
five,
gonna yell after him. I'm just gonna say, "Fuck! You can't undo what we've done." I'm just gonna yell after him. Tell Arden that negotiations are still open, even if they are soured.
Soured, that's a word for it.
I'm not a diplomat.
I'm a rage Lamat. He sort of looks at you, and he would just give you a nod and say thank you, as he would teleport, going another 30 feet and just keep running. The guy in the pit is going to try to climb out. So he does a strength check. Oh yeah, he would make it using his movement to get up here. He looks around. It's like, where the fuck is everyone? Got knocked out, fell in a pit, and now everyone's gone. He does not like the look of this because all his friends are kind of disappeared, and this guy's gone. He's gonna... I think he's gonna move this way. Actually, let me roll for it. What would he do? He's very confused. Because, yeah, he basically, spent the whole fight in the pit.
Barrel's like, what the fuck is going on? We're fighting each other.
Yeah. He attacks the other Shatter Kai. No, I'm just kidding. He is going to... he just climbs back in the pit.
If Kate and Reed hadn't kept getting targeted, Barrel might never have attacked at all.
So he's gonna look around and what is he gonna do? He is so confused because he's like, am I the last one left? Did we surrender? Well, he sees three of you, and he wouldn't see Mei Jun because Mei Jun's down the hall.
Probably wouldn't see Sim either. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he wouldn't see Sim or Mei Jun. All his friends are gone because he doesn't see the other guy in
But
the
if
pit.
if he ran down the hall to get away and
You would
then
definitely
saw
see
Mei Jun,
Mei
he
Jun
probably
standing
would be
over
wary,
Sim.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he wouldn't see them. He also doesn't know what happened to his banished friend. Like he just
Yep.
would be like, "Where the fuck is everyone?" He, oh, man, he is going to. He's going to try to run. He doesn't like the look of this. Maybe everyone else ran. So he goes 25, 30 feet to the edge, 30 feet down the hallway. He would see Mei Jun standing over Sim. Now he's really confused. And he readies his weapon because he does not know you're letting people go. So he doesn't... Well, he's not close enough to attack you, but he... yeah, I'll say he takes the dodge action for now. As he approaches you, because he finally sees you and is like, whoa, what's going on? The other guy is attempting to climb. What a weird battle this has been.
Crazy.
It's only 5 feet up from the bottom of the pit,
No,
or is it 15?
he's 25 feet down.
Oh, this is-
Yeah, he fails his first climb attempt. Like, God damn it. He climbs again. Oh, he made it that time. So he climbs up 15 feet, and he's now at negative 10. And that's it for them, because the other one's banished, and the other one ran away. Reed. So you hear some yelling down the hall. Yeah, if you move there, you see the guy climbing up. He's 10 feet from the top. He kind of looks at you sheepishly. What are you gonna do?
I don't even know.
See, Reed's in my core. He's like, what do we do? What's going on? What
Right?
are we doing here?
This whole thing is so weird.
I'm just gonna caption this fight. What the actual fuck?
What's going on? Yeah. So what are you gonna do, Reed?
I'm gonna cast the last synaptic static down the pit.
Oh.
Oh,
All right. Well, he ain't dodging. Bzzzt. So yeah, his head just explodes and he falls in the pit.
oh.
Brutal.
Anything else?
No, I'm gonna maintain concentration unless you guys want to kill one more.
Miss Wren, what are you doing?
So I saw the guy running down the hall.
Yeah, he ran out of your sight. You saw Reed like point in the pit, chant, and there was just someone went. Ah.
I can't see far enough to see Mei Jun. So I'll start running.
Yeah, they're 35 feet off the map right now, I believe. I said.
And hang on. 15, 20, 25. I'll pick up Vile Song
Okay.
on the way by. 30, 35, 40, 45. That's one turn. What can I see now?
So they are 35 feet off the map, so 50 feet from you currently, so I don't think you could see him.
The Shadowkai might have stopped short of that.
Oh, right. The Shadowkai is, I think, 10 feet from Mei Jun. So he would be at 25 feet off the map, so that would be 45 feet from you. I don't know if you could see that.
Still out of torchlight then.
Just past
2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I would still be running then. So I'll dash. I'll spend a key point for Step of the Wind.
All right, so you take off down the hall. How far do you go?
45 feet.
All right, so you would see him pretty soon after that.
Now, at that point, though, can I see Sim lying on the ground?
Yes, so you see Mei Jun growling, looking over Sim. He's kind of, Mei Jun's also looking at this Shatter Kai, who is now turned around looking at you approaching with a torch. and everyone's really confused.
It's a flaming ring, but okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
June, are you gonna shout anything to me as I charge up on this guy?
Well, so here was my question. So I shouted a thing to the first guy who ran past me. It was my understanding that I didn't have enough time to shout a thing to the second guy. Is that correct?
Yeah, not yet. I think you're done talking for that round, so you would have to wait to say anything else. Because basically, like,
Yeah.
Miss Ren would be running up as he's shouting down the hall at someone.
Well, if he's all right, so bear with me here. If he's standing in a corner and there's a hallway going out into an empty space, wouldn't we have heard it as if it were like he was,
Yeah,
he
so
was
you
shouting into a
probably,
megaphone?
Probably.
yeah, you probably would have heard him shout at that guy what he said, and the Shatter Kai would have probably just been hearing it as he ran up too. Because I mean, if this was all happening at once, you and the Shatter Kai would be running down the hall around the same time.
All right, I'll
The Shatter Kai
I will
would kind of
use my
look at him
action.
and look at you.
I'll use my action to wait. With 45 feet, I couldn't get all the way to Sam, right?
Not to me. No.
Not to Sim, but you can run up on the dude if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think you can get in melee range of the Shatter Kai, just barely. That's what
Yeah,
you're
but
doing.
I heard Meijun
Yep.
shouting, and I'm
Yeah, you heard what he
thinking-
said, so you know what's going on. You didn't see him knock out or beat up Sim, but you could probably infer.
There's definitely, at your discretion, depending on perception, there's maybe sufficient evidence to suggest that I wasn't even trying to knock him unconscious.
Yeah, he seems pretty. Mei Jun seems pretty like crazed right now, I'd say.
Yep.
So-
From here, though, I guess with my action, I will just dash again to get up to them.
So you're gonna run past the Shatter Kai?
I'm gonna run past. I'll take the Oppie if he wants to attack.
I think he's gonna delay for now because he heard what Mei Jun said, and he's wondering if like there's some kind of truce being called. So he does not attack.
All right, so I'll run past, run up to Meijun and Sim, and just be like, "What happened? What happened to Sim?"
All right, so at this point we can probably drop combat unless anyone else is going to attack.
Well, Reed, are you going to keep the one banished?
Oh, yeah, that's true. We got like 7 rounds.
Yeah, I was just gonna keep him banished unless somebody says
Well-
that they want him back.
I was gonna place myself where I can ensnare him when he comes back if the banishment is canceled.
All right,
Or
sure.
whatever.
Well, we don't need rounds for that. So why don't we drop at a Well, actually, wait. Sim is still in danger, so
Yeah,
we can't.
if Meijun wants to make a point of it, you could in fact allow me to bleed out and offer my body to Arden.
Well, worse than that, I am probably going to actively
Oh, do the savagery thing? Hilarious.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know,
Unless
I'm
Miss-
just like,
Unless Miss
Fuck.
Ren is going to do something. I don't know. What do you?
Well, I don't know if I can stop him. He acts before I do, and I don't have a reaction that can do
I'm
it.
just like really at the point where like we had
Well-
this is meant May June's mental state is like we had an opportunity for diplomacy to save the lives of at least 7, if not 30 or 40 guys, and then this shit happened. So he's just not having any. And then he met this guy like 2 or 3 days ago. There's
Right.
there's
Yeah,
no
that's-
reason not to do what he's doing.
All right. Well, at this point, so Miss Ren is kind of wandering up, saying, you know, what's going on, and you would see.
I was dashing full speed up.
Yeah.
Wandering.
Well. Yeah.
Wandering up.
I ran 100 feet in that round.
Yeah.
105 feet.
Sure. It was just a descriptive text. It didn't imply anything. So yeah, Miss Ren came up. She's like, "What the f is going on?" And that's kind of all she could do because she did a bunch of movement. Beryl, what are you gonna do?
Okay. Beryl is not aware of what's going on down the hall.
She would just hear a bunch of yelling.
15, 20,
What's going on?
25. I think that would be 35. So I guess I'm dashing.
Yeah.
45, 55. I am basically staging myself where I think that guy got banished because I've seen Reed use that spell before. I am
Yes.
staging myself to ensnare him non-lethally if he becomes unbanished.
Okay. Well,
Well, I can't hold an action though because I just dashed, but that's the
yeah.
plan that Barrel's trying for.
All right. I mean, ensnaring non-lethal is basically a grapple check.
Well, like the snake has the constrict attack. I just don't want to do damage. So yeah, grapple is fine. Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
But again,
if-
I can't hold the action this round because I just dashed.
Yeah. So Sim, I
need
need.
some death save.
Yeah, I need a death save.
Is that just a flat
Barrel's
d20?
already
Yeah.
confused.
Yep.
She doesn't even know that like
I don't
Sim is
actually remember. I
dying in the
rolled a one
hallway.
beyond, so.
Unless I think the only ways to make it not flat is with like aura act. No, aura protection doesn't
All
work.
right. Well,
Oh.
I made one.
All right. So Sim
Man.
hangs on. May June. What are
May
you
not
gonna
matter.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So Sim is prone. I'm going to move 5 feet closer. Attack not recklessly at Sim.
All right.
I'm pretty
So-
sure you're guaranteed the 3 hits you need.
Well, not necessarily.
We'll make that precise. I got plenty of those. Jesus!
So no, you would miss with the first attack. Clang. His armor protects him.
Armor class really apply when I'm down? Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, you're pretty heavily armored. No.
Fucking hell. Okay, I
12
got
would
one more.
miss.
Well, actually, I have 2 more. God damn.
No, 16 would miss. So he is heavily armored, luckily for him.
Yep. Going in for the fucking bonus action. And
Yeah,
that-
22 would strike.
That'll do it.
So, I think that's,
So that would be 2 death save failures.
Yep.
Yep.
And I already used my action surge. This is gonna make for some really awkward conversation later.
So yeah,
Maybe
you would.
They're savaging my corpse.
Well, more like maybe you're kind of like still resisting on the ground as he's trying to finish you off. With Miss Wren looking on in horror. Like, what is going on?
And you survive this. We might choose not to tell you all of it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, that would be it for you, right, May June?
All I'm gonna say is because I'm aware of the fact now that Anna Kate is in range of me, and she was asking what the fuck is going on. I'm just gonna say, probably in anger, I'm gonna say, we had an opportunity for peace, and this fucking guy ruined all of it. So I'm making sure he never does it again.
Alright.
And I'm gonna end my turn.
The Shadow Dancer is really confused now as he sees you attack your downed ally. He looks to Miss Wren, and he is going to try to run past her unless she tries to stop him.
I wouldn't try to physically stop him, but I would say, wait, we can use your help, please.
Are you saying it trying to like threaten him, or are you just like trying to be persuasive?
I'm trying to be persuasive.
All right, give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, well, I mean, the -1 is going to take care of it. Anyway.
Well, that's better
Well,
than I
decent
did
roll.
with my -1. I got a 0 with mine.
So he hesitates a little, although he does remember you stunned him and threw him in a pit. He's considering things, and he says, he hesitates a little. He says, "Why should I help you? You've killed my allies, and you will probably kill me." But he doesn't run just yet. That's it for the Shadow Dancer. Reed.
Reed's confused, and he will start moving down the hallway towards the commotion. But I don't know if I just move 30 feet, will I see them at all?
Where were you?
I was
I mean, you could dash too, so you could actually move 60 feet.
All right. If I dashed, then I would come up to the group.
Yes, for sure.
I think. I mean, if this is where you were at, 5, 10, 15, 20, you would be 10 feet down the hallway, which is 25 feet from us. So, if you have, do you have dark vision?
I have dark vision. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you would
without
see them after the first move. You're about 25 feet from them all. And you would probably catch the end of Mei Jun stabbing Sim on the ground.
I'll say, gentlemen, there's no fighting in the war room.
I got that reference.
Wow.
I love that movie.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
And I will say, drag him back, pick him up, bring him back.
You pointing at Sim?
Yeah.
All right. So do you do anything for your action? Because you do still have an action.
I just dashed. So.
No, you only moved.
Yeah, you didn't.
You didn't actually need to dash, so you still have an action.
Oh. No, I'm not gonna attack anyone, and I don't have any healing ability from distance. So, no, I got nothing.
All right. Top of the round, Miss Ren. What are you gonna do?
I will try to position myself between Mei Jun and Sim as I reach into my belt pouch and pull out a healing potion and feed it to Sim.
Alright, so you quickly give Sim a healing potion, and then try to get in between them. So you would gain 9 health, Sim, as you come back to. Do we want to take a quick 5-minute break, or should we try to resolve this?
I was gonna ask a quick question. Is there? Man, I don't even know what you would do in this situation.
So we can drop. Do we want to drop out of rounds and just do the role play, or do you think you're going to attack again, Mei Jun?
Yes? Question mark. Is there any use of a reaction which could conceivably prevent what Anna Kate is doing?
No, not really. You can't.
No,
you can't prevent healing.
Because you can't grapple somebody because it's not an opportunity attack. No, because she's not entering my range either.
You could have attacked me when I entered your range, but it's too late once I'm in your range.
Yeah, I mean, basically...
You're already in my range, right?
I ran up to you the last round.
Yeah. Alright, there's nothing to do.
Okay. Basically, kind of as you were stabbing at him, she kind of ran in, gave him a potion, was like, wait, trying to stop you from attacking him.
Okay. Then, for sure, there's nothing I can do about that, but in terms of round considerations, I'm just still really enraged and really weighing the lives of 40 men against Sim, so I'm probably going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Barrel.
All right. Well,
I think
I would patient defense standing over Sim's body if Mei Jun looks like he's going to keep attacking.
Oh yeah, that's clever.
Barrel, you can see what's happening now. I think you would be up next.
around the corner.
No,
we were at an intersection.
No.
I was looking down. I was looking down around the corner.
Yeah. But you're also
a
snake, so you can't really
So
see.
what?
Do you have dark vision?
Nope.
Oh, if you don't have dark vision, then
Wait a second. The constrictor snake has blind sight and dark vision, I believe. But let me just. No, I lied. She doesn't have dark vision. She has blind sight, but it's only 10 feet. Yeah.
So you hear a bunch of yelling. You hear Miss Ren saying, stop, stop, and Reed saying stop, and just Mei Jun yelling angrily. So I don't know. Do you want to wait here? Do you want to go down the hall and see what's going on? What do you want to do? It's your turn.
We can still take a break, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah, me neither. I just had to ask a question. If you want to take one, then.
All right. Yeah. Why don't we do a quick 5-minute to out of game assess and figure out what we want to do when we come back.
I'm almost
Tensions
sad
are
if
high.
you get immediately mauled, because just being dead without a chance for Sim to speak his piece would have been a very interesting scenario.
Well, there was a chance for
Yeah.
him to speak his piece, but he started blasting people instead, so. We're
Well,
here now!
Yeah, when we left off last session, I thought the way we were moving was we were going to try and negotiate that 7 trade up to more people. I had
Yep.
no idea we were just going to attack.
It was diplomacy, and then Sim decided it wasn't, so. We'll be
Well.
back in 5.
Yep.
Alright, so let's do, do 5 minutes and see what's happening.
May June, you might not have to kill Sim. Melody might do it for you when she hears about this.
I'm really hoping that she doesn't have to hear about it. Like, well, okay, so she's gonna. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. This is a humdinger. Like on my list of like crazy shit that's happened in a campaign, this is for sure like number 1. This is
Honestly, at the moment, I think Beryl is more confused than enraged. She's just really not sure what's going on. And she's going to take any cues or instructions from Reed or Anna Kate before anything else, I think. Just because she's been with them the longest.
I think that makes sense. And what's wild to me
but-
about this, what's wild to me about this entire fight is that every single thing that was done so far has just been played so well by Roll. Like, I think Sim did what Sim would do, May June did what May June would do, Reed did what Reed would do, and so on. It's just been such like it's been a really amazing example of like how people who are even allies can have such different motivations and find themselves doing things that they never thought they would do before.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
fucking wild time.
It's
has
so
been-
weird to have another fight in this room, too.
Yeah, man, what a situation we're in. Wait, hold up. Oh, it could still happen because okay, he's got. Man, now I'm getting sinister because he only has 1 save so far.
No, but he's up now, so his saves reset.
How did somebody heal him?
Anna Kate poured a potion
Oh,
down his
fucking
throat.
potion! God damn it! Mm.
Maybe.
I don't even know who that was. Who was that? Was that Sim?
I don't know. Sim was muted.
No, I was muted. What happened?
I don't know. Somebody made a noise off in the distance.
Well, it's got to be Lou.
It was probably-
because
no, I
he's
think
the
it
only
was-
one that's not muted.
That's true.
Oh, what happened?
No, it wasn't Lou.
We heard somebody say something, but at the
Somebody-
moment that we heard it, like, you and Ian and I were the only ones that weren't muted. So we
Somebody
thought
made-
it must have been something in the background for you.
It could have been something in the background, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought somebody made like a hee hee.
Oh, no, I didn't do that.
Wasn't me.
It was probably, maybe it was my wife. Oh,
Maybe.
she was making fun of me.
Oh man, what a
Oh, Lou,
game.
I haven't paid my invoices yet for this month because I tried to log into PayPal today and like my account was locked, so I'm figuring that out.
That's fine. I mean, it's technically not the first yet anyway. I don't know why it sends the invoices out in the end of the month. It's weird. It's supposed to wait till the first.
I think it's fine.
Maybe it's based on some country or something.
I typically have to wait until the 5th anyway, so.
But yeah, that's fine.
Man, I gotta tell y'all, I love y'all as people, and I'm amazed to be playing this campaign with you. This is one of the craziest situations I've ever been in, and I love that y'all are here for it.
Yeah, I actually struggle with keeping. I personally tend to want to be more strategic, and Barrel is actually a little bit of a challenge for me because sometimes I have to like rein myself in from being strategic and remember that she's not, and so.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's a little of column A and a little of column B. I think that like many times, like historically, I think Beryl has chosen to take a back seat, and I think that it has been in most cases very appropriate. But I think at this point she's seen enough shit that she probably has the wherewithal to also sometimes make her own decisions as well.
Yeah.
I think she's earned that.
Well, let's see. So she didn't see
A goddamn thing.
Mei June take out Sim and continue to pummel him because she didn't move until just this last round. But I think she saw Miss Wren feed Sim the healing potion. So at this point,
she's
no?
down. Nope, you can't. You have a blind side of 10 feet.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
I'm wearing a ring that has a flame on it, though, a continual flame on it.
Oh,
Well,
if there's light down there, you probably have line of sight.
Vision.
How
far are you from me?
Well, if
you're standing out in the dark, you can see people standing around a campfire.
Is the ring bright light?
It's just a torch.
It's a torch. Then
It's the same as a torch, basically. Yeah.
Then
yes. It's the eternal. It's the continual flame spell.
Continual flame.
Which is permanent spell.
If there's bright light around us,
yeah,
you can for sure see what just happened.
Yeah.
All right. So when I moved over to where I am now, that was after you had pummeled Sim, but I think that might have been before Anna Kate woke him up. Wait, what just happened?
I think
Lou's taking us to the corridor on the map.
Oh. Because it might matter.
So if I glance down the corridor, I would see there's a Shadow Kai standing there, but he doesn't appear to be aggressive. And then Anna Kate is like facing Mei June, and Sim's on the ground behind her. Is that what I'm seeing, basically?
Well, so Mei June is within 5 feet of Sim, who is laying on the ground, who is conscious and looking.
I'm standing over Sim's body.
Yeah, Anna Kate is occupying the same space as Sim, trying to act as a meat shield, using patient defense to do so, which is probably going to be more effective than I care to admit.
And what is Reed doing? Because I think that Beryl would take cues from Anna Kate and Reed. If we come to a situation, we've come to a situation where the party is fighting against each other, which has never happened before in the tribe. But because she's been with Reed and Anna Kate the longest, I think she's going to take cues from you too.
And Anna Kate, I think, has definitely demonstrated an interest in preserving Sim's life, and that is self-evident because of the ring of continual flame. Reed, I'm not convinced has done anything overt, because he's just sort of like poked his head down the hallway, and he's like, he himself, I always say he's in a similar position as you are, and then he's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, but he has been offensive against the Shadow Kai on every turn.
He did actually say, gentlemen, stop fighting.
Yes.
He did do that, yes.
Gotcha.
So he has presented himself in an anti what Mei June is doing position.
All right. I think that at this point, Beryl is going to stay where the banished guy might come back, because she's seen Reed use that spell before. So I'm
sorry. I just realized something. Lou?
Yeah.
Would I still have had time to talk to Mei June after saying what I said to the Shadow Kai?
Yeah, you'd probably have a few seconds, so nothing too crazy.
All right, then I would have, I'm sorry, Beryl, but I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But as part of like my patient defense and everything, I would have said he deserves a chance to explain himself.
Oh, god damn it.
Thank you.
God damn it.
Win.
All right.
So this guy's standing here also.
Beryl sees everybody down the hall and is very, very confused, but she also knows she's seen Reed's banishment spell before. So I think she's going to stay where she is because she doesn't see like Mei June pummeling Sim right this moment or anything like that. And so I'm going to stay exactly where I am. If we're still in turns, that's my turn. I'm going to ready a grapple if the banished thing comes back.
You did see Mei June pummeling Sim. Because
No,
remember,
Well,
Miss
wait,
Wren
yes.
was there, because Miss Wren was there with the light, so you would have seen that.
Yeah, but
Wait,
Beryl did not move where she could see down the hallway until after that
Anna Kate
happened.
arrived with the ring, and so there was light.
Oh,
but Beryl didn't have line of sight though. But
I saw Anna Kate feed the potion to Sim, but Beryl doesn't know.
That's debatable because remember it's all happening at the same time. But if you want to argue you didn't see it, I'm not going to argue with you. That's totally up to you.
No,
if you
because
want to claim that.
it was no Sim pummeling, or I'm sorry, Mei June pummeling Sim happened a complete round before Beryl moved inside of the hallway.
So the last thing that I did.
All right, Sim, what are you gonna do?
Ah!
We will. She can if she. Yeah, I mean either way, it's not that important to me. She can say she didn't see it.
Am I supposed to see anything on the map right now? Because I just see darkness.
No. I guess you wouldn't be able to. Here, you know what? Let me just turn off dynamic lighting for this map because it doesn't really matter. So there, you should see now.
Okay.
So yeah, you are awake, Sim. You see Miss Wren kind of over you, like trying to hold Mei June back. You see the Shatter Kai standing there. He seems very confused, but he's on the defensive. Reed's running down the hall. What do you want to do?
And Sim's in the corner, right?
Well, I was going to say Ren. He's under Miss Wren.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. What do you think?
I must admit, Mei June, I would prefer not to be murdered by you today. But if that is what it will take to slake your thirst, I do not have it in me to stop you. But as one so incensed by unnecessary loss of lives, at this point it would be rather hypocritical.
Alright, 6 seconds, so that's all you really got to say. Miss Wren is like, we should hear what he has to say. Unfortunately, you haven't explained yourself yet. Mei June, what do you want to do?
Oh god.
If you look up gaslighting in the dictionary, there's an audio recording of the shit that Sim just said. Fuck me.
Sorry, I'm laughing not because I'm not taking this seriously. I just laugh when I'm having fun, and
this is
nuts.
Man,
it's a tense situation.
This is nutty. It is nutty. Yeah. No. I'm gonna refer to the lack of trust and the rage and do the same thing that I did last time and attack recklessly. You know what?
I'm prone, so I have disadvantage, but I think I have cover maybe from Anna Kate if she's not.
Yeah, I'd probably give you cover from Anna Kate.
Is it just cover when she's like physically like trying to impede the reach or the access? I don't know how that works.
I would, since she is against Mei June right now, I would give him cover from Miss Wren. But it's not good. She can't stop him from attacking. But yeah, she would offer
it is actually
cover.
really hard to defend someone who's on the ground from someone who's trying to attack them, even if you're standing over them.
I mean, she could have tried to stunning fist Mei June or something, but that's kind of the time has passed.
No, I couldn't actually because I used my action
to
beat a potion to send.
Yep.
So.
Man, I should have done this last time. I don't actually need to use Great Weapon Master, I don't think, because... Yeah, man. That was a real tactical error. Anyway, here we are. Attacking, not recklessly, because Sim is on the ground, and not with Great Weapon Master, because it probably is not necessary.
Okay.
That's gonna be this here.
Oh.
And I do still have... Oh, Jesus Christ. I think this is
Nope.
This is the last one. This is the last one. Well, fuck, that's so awful. No, I'm gonna use it anyway. Fuck me. Okay.
Miss Wren keeps you back as you're like trying to murder him, and you would miss with the first attack.
Fuck. I really should have done that last round. Okay. Here's a second.
24 would connect. Doing 12, and I think that would put you unconscious again.
Yep, that'll put me down again.
So that'll be a second level of exhaustion. Do you have any more attacks? A third one, I think?
I do have the backswing, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you would connect with the backswing, and that would be 2 levels of death save failure. Anything else?
Just go unconscious?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He is
unconscious with
second
2
attack?
fails.
Yep.
Well, unconscious with the first hit, and then 2 fails with the second.
Oh, I see. Wait, but the
Man.
first hit missed.
No, so the first hit missed, the second
There's
hit
3
knocked
hits,
him unconscious, and the bonus
Third one.
action hit made for 2 fails. So when you're
Why is
within,
it 2 fails?
because
it's
if
a
you
crit.
are unconscious and you take a hit from a creature who's within 5 feet of you, it is automatically considered a critical hit, which is 2 fails.
Yep.
Oh.
So that is it for May June. The Shadow Dancer is man, what is he even gonna do? So Miss Wren said to wait, but like he sees May June freaking out, so he's a little concerned. I think he's gonna take
Oh,
off.
God. Yeah, he's gonna run away, guys.
He's like,
oh,
fuck
God.
this, you guys
not
are
well handled.
nuts. Miss Wren, are you gonna try to stop him or do anything or?
No,
All right, so he goes 5, 10.
I'm just staring at Meijun, giving him staring daggers at him.
Oh man.
All right, so he is gonna run down the hallway. Reed, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna banish May June. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
We can't see the turn order anymore, by the way.
It's oh yeah, I still have it, but I think because it's a different map.
It's blank for us, yeah.
Okay, I might be about to fail my death save anyway.
Yeah. I am going to.
Do you go before Anna Kate? I forget.
No, I think I'm after.
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna root around in the bag of holding and pull out a scroll, and it's on D&D Beyond, and see if I can cast it. It's Sanctuary.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
I think is it touch or 30 feet? I forget.
It's 30 feet.
Sanctuary
30
was
feet.
south.
No, it's 30
no,
feet.
it's
Yep,
it's
you
not
guys have enough
self.
people.
All right,
Okay, cool.
so you cast Sanctuary on Sim.
Yes, I'm still a creature.
Using your scroll, and yeah, he's affected by it. Anything else?
I'm gonna.
Say anything?
I guess I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna run up and scream in May June's face, "Stop!" I can't grapple him or anything.
All right, so you're just yelling, "Stop! Stop!" As you sanctuary your downed friend, Miss Wren. What are you gonna do?
I'll just put my hand on Meijun's, like the neck of his shirt, and say, if I had not been given a chance to explain myself, I would be dead right now.
God damn it.
And I'll push him back against the wall and turn around, like completely making myself vulnerable to him, turn around, kneel down, and I will attempt to stabilize.
All right, so give me a wisdom check.
Is it just that 18 charisma? Why does everyone like Sim so much? I'm glad, but this is nuts.
I don't fucking know.
Are you trying to kill your character? I mean, I'm just wondering.
No,
we met
no.
you yesterday.
But yeah.
No, notice that I stabilized him so he can't talk.
Yeah.
I actually noticed that.
I actually did try to kill one of my characters once, and people kept healing me, and so I just wanted to double check.
I'm
That was,
not
like,
trying
the
to
goal
die.
here.
I think it
No, I
would
think,
be narratively satisfying, but I'm happy with whatever you're choosing to do. I don't know that Sim's earned it.
All right.
If you deem that he has, there's no judgment from me. But
yeah, you would stabilize Sim, and that is it for you. Beryl, what are you gonna do?
All right, they are how far from me?
I want to
They're
say
right at the corner of the junction, right?
Yeah, I think they were like 15 feet plus this map, which would be another 15, 30. I might have made this too big, actually. Let's say... Because they were supposed to be 35 feet off the map, so actually it'd be more like here.
All right.
So let me move everyone a little. Apologies.
I will drop my wild shape. And now that I've seen intra-party violence.
The misunderstandings.
And I'm gonna walk. I don't know. I don't think I have to go too far, but like I will walk close enough that I can be within 30 feet of the entire party, and I will use
diplomacy is broken down. All right, so you walk up with the
I'll do a mass cure.
staff of healing, doing a mass cure wounds. In that case, like, oh shit. Go ahead.
Just going to infuriate Meijun again.
I don't know, man. I'm so conflicted right now.
This is just a horrible, horrible situation, and I'm really concerned that we just killed Shock and
yeah, that may have just happened.
And everyone
I'm really
else.
holding out hope that the shit I said to that guy before he ran away did some work,
Maybe,
but I don't know, man.
I'm doubting it.
All right.
Let's see.
All right, so let me see. Do I have a macro for this? There it is.
This has definitely been an unexpected session. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everyone gets 17.
All right, so you all feel a bit better as healing energies pour through the hallway. Sim, you are awake again, although you have 2 levels of exhaustion now, feeling very poor, as you've probably have a couple of, like, broken ribs at this point, as he's been just smashing you with his weapon.
You barely breathe. Like, pain.
All right, anything else, Beryl? And you can put yourself on the map if you came in here.
Oh, yeah, let me do that. Yeah. All right. Beryl's gonna kind of hang back and simper a little bit. She's super confused and scared with what's going on.
Oh, shoot. You know what, Lou? Oh, it doesn't matter. She healed him. I was going to say, I had disadvantage on that medicine check, so... But it doesn't matter. Beryl healed him. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, that's a good thing that Beryl healed him then. So, Sim, you'd be up. Yeah. You're awake again after Meijun freaked out and kind of knocked you senseless. And you're like, ugh. As healing once again brings you back from the brink. What do you want to do?
Am I to have chance to speak this time? If not, this is only interesting form of torture.
Oh, that was your 6 seconds of speaking. I think. No, you'd have some more time to speak unless you're gonna...
No, Sim is not actually trying that hard to defend himself here yet.
Alright, so Meijun, you get to go. What do you want to do? Miss Ren is kind of pushing you to stop. Reed's yelling at you.
Yeah.
And he is sanctuaried. So at this point, you would have to...
Does Meijun even know what that is, though?
He probably does, but he's probably... I would say that I'm not in tune with it. Like, whether or not it affects my thought process is irrelevant.
Yeah, you'd probably feel a slight, like, push against, against your wanting to attack him, which would be, if you tried to attack, that would be the form of the saving throw.
Yeah. God damn. So I'm gonna yell out fairly loudly, because I'm a loud guy. I'll just say, this man's life is not worth 40 others. And I'm gonna try again, which I think first
40 comes
wisdom
from.
saving throw. Well, there's 30 or 40. There's a bunch of dudes in there.
Alright, so you have to
There's
make
definitely a lot, yeah.
It is
wisdom
wisdom, right?
save, yep.
And is this for the whole action or just for the attack?
It's per attack. Every time you
okay.
attack him, you have to fight against the sanctuary.
All right.
Not play much with Sanctuary.
Alright,
Well, that's
so
not gonna do it.
you cannot... Actually, can you link Sanctuary? I just want to double check that.
Yeah, I think you can attack someone else.
You can, yeah. So either you attack someone else, it
Or
might...
Or you lose the action.
Yeah, and I think, let's see...
Man, I gotta say that's a really beautiful like role play use of a spell. Like, how
Yeah.
do you capture the shit that Mei Jun is going through? That spell right there.
So...
You lose the attack, not the action.
A new
Okay.
target or lose the attack. So yeah, you would have to target someone else with the attack, or you would lose it. You're like, "Arrgh!" It's like the spell is keeping you at bay.
Yep. Well, I'm not gonna attack anybody else. So
Got 2 more attacks if you want them.
yeah, we're gonna go for number 2. That's not gonna do it. Man, what a beautiful spell! I gotta say.
These dice have just been saving me.
It has saved my healer many times. That spell.
I'm
Alright.
feeling a lot of regret about forgetting that I didn't need to attack with Great Weapon Master the first time.
Yeah, that probably would have ended me.
All right, bonus action.
Oh, so you make your
What?
save, and you can make an
Ooh.
attack. Did you stand up, Sim? Did you do...
No, I'm still prone.
Okay.
Because
So,
Anna
yeah.
Kate's in his square.
Yep.
Oh, blunt.
I mean, I guess
You
she
could've
could have
crawled.
crawled into the corner.
Yeah, you could have crawled 5 feet away and then stood up.
Yeah.
I mean, I have reach.
Yep.
Or
There
just...
it is.
So...
And- oh, I have no more things. God
Oh,
damn it.
so he would, you would slam downward, and with the cover, he, especially with the cover, he would kind of roll sideways, dodging that attack.
Okay. I'll say that at this point, in like just in an overwhelming flurry of emotions that Mei Jun is not accustomed to, he starts like he cries like a desperate and frustrated cry, and he'll just say, "Man, fuck, what would you say?" I'm just gonna say, those men were my friends, and we could have got them back. And we can't now, because you wanted to kill somebody. And I'm gonna end my turn.
I started playing the sad music. Alright, that's it for Mei June. Reed. And actually, can we drop out of combat now? Like, is Mei June kind of...
Yeah, I would say Mei Jun's given up.
Okay, so Mei June just seems overwhelmed with
Keep
frustration
on
and
him.
just the...
Alright. I'll say
Yeah.
Mei Jun is prone as well.
I don't think.
Did you just like
I don't
slump
think-
down?
Yes, that's exactly what he's done.
Reed, I don't think I know that you banished that Shadow Kai because I think I was unconscious at the time. Are you gonna tell? Like, does anyone else know? Is anyone gonna say anything about?
Yeah, I've basically been telling everyone that I'm going to keep concentrating, and he's gone. So he's going.
So we have a
back to the
possible.
battle.
Well, we have a possible prisoner that may also know where they are. Who may also know how we can get there.
That's exactly why Beryl was planning to try and kind of grab him but not hurt him. Like, but we also have to make
We
this
have to move
decision
fast.
pretty quickly because
I'm gonna
banishment
run.
expires,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
run back
think-
into the room. I don't know exactly where he's gonna show back up, but I'm gonna run back into the room.
Alright, hang on.
It was pretty near the door, just a
Yeah,
little bit north.
well, as a player, I know exactly where he's gonna come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
So go ahead and move yourself to
Well,
where
you
want
might
to
have
go on the
seen
map.
Beryl like staging for it or something, I guess.
I would just
And I take
run
my-
probably right here to
So,
the middle of the entrance and just be looking around. Like,
I guess at this point, what is Sim gonna do? I assume you're gonna stand up, right?
I will actually just get to my knees and turn to face Mei June. Ugh. If your grievance with me is that I may have caused death of your friends, well, there is some truth to that. Now, your friends at least seem to want to hear me say what I have to say. But if this matter will not be settled between us without blood, then after, I will submit to your judgment. If it will stay your hand for long enough to hear.
Oh man, I'm gonna drop my Guandao on the ground out of my right hand, and with my left hand, I'm gonna reach down. I'm gonna grab Sim by the collar, and I'm gonna say, "Why couldn't this have been said sooner? Why wasn't this part of the discourse? We had the lives of 30 or 40 men.
25, by the way.
Only on the word of a man we could not trust. All he said could have been lie. But one thing I believed.
A man that you didn't trust.
It is true.
I've met this man before. And even though
you knew
he's not
him?
like me, and he's not like you, this man kept his word on at least one occasion.
did he?
He left Isik, technically.
Hey, you guys ran down
Did
the hall.
not leave Isik.
You guys ran
Oh,
down the
yeah.
hall.
Yeah.
It's
fuck.
just these
I
two.
can't.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could be like listening and be like, "Did he?" Like down the hall yelling at them. Like, shut up, shut up, Miss Red. This isn't your conversation.
It is a man who, a man perhaps who had agreement with you, and saw fit to see between the words of such an agreement permission to bring trained killers into the city, as a servant of Malak. This city is a wound upon the world, Mejun. Every person you see here is victim.
Yes.
And anytime I see victim,
Not a victor. Somebody who was meant to experience a life that they did not intend for themselves. Nobody in this city meant for the things that happened to them to happen to them, but they did.
it's true. And for and for people in city, I will negotiate. But for servants of Malak, not unless driven to. And I saw no need.
These men held in their hands an opportunity for us to save the lives of several dozen, 24 or more. And
We would. And what do you think? He would have returned with them? He would have returned with more soldiers.
maybe.
I saw a better
I'm not
chance.
so ignorant to presume that he wouldn't have. But if you choose to accept the worst in everyone, then you have already condemned yourself to a life of doom and gloom.
I do not see
cannot-
worse in all. But in him, yes.
Why? You don't even know this man.
I do not need to.
Yes.
He
Yes, you
proclaimed
do.
allegiance to a Shadowlord.
Have you never experienced a man
Sorry,
who had allegiance
quick
to
pause.
a claim?
As this conversation is happening, because it has been about a minute now,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
guy would poof back in, look around like,
if Reed
oh,
lets him back.
Shit.
If Reed lets him back.
oh, that's
he would
true.
be
Are
permanently
you
banished
are
if
you
Reed
going to
lets
let
him
him back, or are you going to let him be permanently? Well, for the time being banished, because he can still use a portal to get back.
I was gonna let him stay banished. So if he wants to, obviously I can't stop him from traveling back here from
All
wherever.
right. So if you hold it for the minute.
Even after I said we have a potential prisoner that may know how to get to our friends,
Yeah.
Yeah,
not let him back.
I'm just gonna make an executive decision that we're done fighting for the day.
All right. So he would poof out as the banishment finishes.
Well, now our options are limited.
What does what does everyone want to do?
Can I go over to the vault and see if it is still sealed?
It does look like it's still sealed. Yeah. Now, did you all do anything special to seal it, or did you just close it? I'm blanking on that.
Barrel stone shaped it, I think.
Tervin used a spell on it. It arcane lock. And then we disguised it.
Yeah, and then we put stone all over it.
That's pretty well sealed.
Yeah, so it would still be sealed. You would see that it actually looks like he had moved the stone shape, and I don't know if you could sense who put arcane lock on it. Tervin.
Yeah,
Tervin.
no longer here. Yeah.
So, if you did a.
Can I ritually cast detect magic to see if
Yeah, so I'll say you would see that the arcane lock is gone, so it was destroyed. But it doesn't look like he was able to get the vault open because he still would have needed the three things.
Oh, okay.
The three pieces to open it. So it looks like he got through the defenses you guys put up.
Dispelled.
Yeah, so he got rid of the arcane lock and he had moved the stone shape, but he wasn't able to actually open it because he didn't have the three items.
And Beryl does not have stone shape prepared this time, so
and
she
you
can't,
all, do you all still have the three items?
So
we never had all three. We had one.
Just out of curiosity, did you remove the spell slots that he would have used to dispel? Would he have had that counter spell?
He didn't use that many spells during the fight.
Yeah, not a lot.
He did counterspell twice and two other spells.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
So I think that we have the amulet. Although Raylist was wearing it, so I'm not actually sure. Let me see. Do I have it in the inventory? Let me see what I noted.
No, there's no way he gave that back.
Oh, so wait, how did you initially get the vault open?
We came in.
He was already here with two keys and.
That's right. He had. Sorry, go ahead.
The inventory says Reed is wearing the amulet of detection against whatever, blah blah blah, the key item, detection and location. Yeah.
That's right. I remember now because he had used magic to get it open. So yeah, it seems like it is sealed for the time being.
In light of...
I'll just say, you know what? I'll just say the arcane lock is still on it because I forgot that magic had been used to undo the needing of items. He hadn't had a chance to get rid of that yet.
Okay.
Or actually, let me check something really quick. Because it might actually be stone shape, but he wouldn't have been able to get rid of, because I think that's druidic magic, isn't it?
On the druid spell list, I don't know where else it shows up.
Let's see. I guess technically wizard would have it, but that would be higher level. So let's say he got rid of the arcane lock, but the stone shape is still sealing it. He wouldn't have gotten that off yet.
Good call.
because that would be harder to move than the arcane lock. All right, so yeah, the stone is still shaped in the way that the vault can't open.
Nice. Yeah, and she used, I can't remember, like, I think she used like 3 or 4 when we did that. Like, she used all her spell spots to like make it like lots of stone as much as she could. So,
Yeah, which would make sense. So yeah, what is I mean, we're almost at time, but what does the group want to do?
I'm just gonna take my other hand and also grip Sim's collar with it. And I'm still, I would say, pretty actively crying like a desperate stream of tears. And I'll just like try to look him straight in his face, and I'll say, "Who are you? Do you think that your life or your needs are worth more than the lives of a couple dozen men?"
I did not. I did not attack till I heard the wizard say the words that he could go and retrieve them swiftly. That means he possessed either ritual or knowledge or power, items of power that would allow us to cross to Shadowfell. I wanted them so that we could go and retrieve all men and not 7. If we spoke aloud, he would leave to deny us path to Shadowfell. So
And what do we
kill them
have?
swiftly.
And what do we have now?
Had you fought by our side, we may have slain him and captured what we needed to open way to Shadowfell.
Why would you kill a man when you could reason with him? Have you not been in a war before?
Have you? Why would you
Yes.
reason with a man who has your friends captive?
I have been in half a dozen wars. I have been in more wars than I care to remember. And peace is always the better option. Always.
This would not have ended without killing if you had bargained with that man.
This would not have ended with killing if you had bargained with that man.
You
All right.
both make very good points, but I think it's time to rest.
I'll let my hands off Sim's collar, and I'll just walk around and stew for a minute.
All right. Well, so I think I don't know. What do you all think you're gonna do next time? What's the move from here?
I have no fucking idea.
Well, you
try.
came down here to originally
Yeah.
to check the vault for Lyra, right? To figure out if there was a way to
Did
get
she
to
not
the
come with us?
Shadowfell. She was protecting the sphere. I don't think she actually came down to this point. Actually, wait, no, I think she did maybe.
Yeah,
Because she
I think
wanted
she
to
got
like
close
protect
enough.
the-
I think she got close enough to like see down the hallway, but
Oh,
we
yeah,
were
she stayed back.
specifically like, no, don't.
But yeah,
come
but
in
then
here."
we saw the Sadarkai. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say maybe she stayed back, and at this point, when she saw the Shatter Kai, well, let's pick it up next time, so I have time to have her realize what she's gonna do at this point.
Man,
'Cause
we
she-
have not made a good impression on Nimble.
Nimble.
Did he come
Man,
with us?
I
He is-
forgot he was here.
He is here. Yeah, he is with you. I should have
Oh
had.
shit.
Yeah, Lyra and Nimble are with you right now.
Oof.
Yeah, he's like, what is going
I think
on?
Nimble has had a very rude introduction into the moral dilemmas of the human condition.
Yeah, he's probably very interested in all this. He's like, wow, humans are complicated.
Well, and it's also very interesting. Like this campaign is, I mean, it's been. Has it been over 2 years? How many sessions in are we, Lou?
We are at session 83.
Okay, so not 2 years yet, but very very close. Yeah, like we've never had interparty conflict like this before.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Okay, Jester was
A little
the
bit.
closest, but but no, we never like pummeled each other before.
So let me
What
get
was
The lives
and
of
what-
our allies.
What day of the week is this Monday? Yeah, Jester and Lander almost had it for a minute. but nothing
So
like this.
anyway, to answer Lou's question, so he has some idea what sort of things to prep for. I do think Sim is serious about submitting his life debt of honor to Meijun. If Meijun really thinks that Sim deserves to die, Sim would probably just take it.
Oh man, that's a
Well,
that's
Well,
a guilt trip right
Because
there.
Sim, like,
Anna Kate-
because he made a call and he thought that if the tribe went all out, that they would win hard enough to get a pass to the Shadowfell, and he didn't have time to explain. He went for it. Turns out to have been the wrong call. So like, he'll own up.
Well,
Yeah,
allegedly the wrong call. That's a matter of
Yeah.
yeah.
man. What a fucking beautiful.
Well,
situation.
and also like think about like we were short in this battle too because Gamork wasn't here and because Meijun was not fighting with us. Like we were technically, down a third of our people and kind of handicapped a bit.
Well, and I think that's the point that Sim's making is that, like, believe you me, if Meijun had been on board, this would have ended probably a lot differently.
Yep.
well, it did seem like he had a quick escape, so he may have gotten away. But
Right.
Let's do MVP votes. So we got 2 so far.
The leader guy, you mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Relic, because you remember he readied that action and he said, like, let's bargain. I don't want to lose any more men. And then, like, he saw you attack, so he just left because he realized he couldn't save his people.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could have landed one of my attacks and gotten a stunning strike on him,
Yeah, there were
it
options.
might have been different as well.
We let three.
It
of
was
the
not that
people
sure
go.
that it would have worked out the good way. I thought the chance was good enough, and I took it. So.
We definitely killed a bunch of his people, but we technically we let 3 go. 2 we let pass, and then the third, the one we banished, we chose not to bring back here.
I'm not counting on that with much water at this point, but it is true.
Yeah.
And Reed murdered one of them in the pit.
So two of
Alright.
them,
Anna Kate
got
just
synaptic static outright. One of them got synaptic static in a hole. 2 of them.
Reed's like the scanners.
Yep, I think 2 of them ran down the hallway, so that's 5. One of them got banished and stayed banished. The other one,
Missing one person's vote. I think it's Beryl.
Yeah,
I think the other one
sorry.
died in the hole.
Yeah.
With another synaptic static.
Wow, we have a
Wow.
split vote. I think it's a 4-way tie right now.
Holy shit! And we're listening to Genopody number 3. What a beautiful time.
Meijun with 2 votes, your MVP. Congrats.
Oh man.
Need
Where
that
are we?
inspiration.
Oh, I gotta tell you all, of all the various MVPs that I've had, this is the one that rings the most true. Thank you so much for your votes.
Thank
What
you
a-
for your consideration.
Oh man, what a time!
I'd like to thank Paylor, my parents, the Academy, my Guandao.
It's the Cinderella story that proves it's not all about those DPS meter. This
wanna-
barbarian just lost 20 of his closest friends to earn this MVP vote.
I wanna thank Sim for best
Honestly,
supporting
though,
actor.
Man,
Honestly, I'm kind of like expecting that it's a distinct possibility that Melody might try to kill Sim when she learns about this.
I don't know. Man, I shouldn't have gone Great
Wait,
Weapon
you
Master on
could
that
have
first
brought
round.
Shock
That's
back
all I'm
Yeah.
coming
instead,
back
you-
to.
Yeah, you would have just murdered me. It would have been a grimmer but also really tangled up storyline.
All right. Well, I
Okay,
hope everyone
everything happens
had
the way that
fun,
it's supposed to
regardless
happen.
of the craziness. Hopefully, it was still a fun game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a more fun game.
R.I.P.
What a
Lose Prep.
doozy.
Sorry, I just had this epiphany 30 minutes before session. Oh wait, I know what I'm gonna do walking into this. And a couple minutes later, I was like, oh.
You certainly
Yeah,
surprised me with that. I was like,
All of us.
oh, all right.
Oh, I just started,
this is
anyway, I
happening.
started blasting.
Then I started blasting.
Anyway, so we've got Danny DeVito in the party now.
So I actually wouldn't have done it if he hadn't said the words. I could retrieve them fairly quickly.
That seems like such a positive reinforcement to me.
Right?
He says, "Yeah, I'll be back in 5 minutes with your allies," and you're like, "No, fuck you."
We can't trust him.
No.
What
Yeah,
the?
like I thought, the way I left the last session, I thought we were gonna try and negotiate, like, oh, we want more than 7 if you want to live or something, you know.
I mean, I can't tell you what would have actually happened because I think it's better to keep it
Yeah.
keep it secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting turn of events. I'll say that.
Man, what a
That's the word
doozy.
for it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take some notes, but yeah, feel free to take off if you guys want to, and yeah, we'll continue the story next week. I think
Yeah,
like
well-
5 minutes past this game.
Yeah, what a short game.
Oh, excuse me. No, actually, it was like 30 minutes because you
Yeah,
did
there was a
some
little bit.
some spell
yeah.
stuff.
There was a little bit before and after, yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
All right. Take
Night,
care, all.
everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Like,
Thank you all
basically, like,
for
all
an
the
amazing
NPCs
session.
Yeah.
All
Ian,
the NPCs.
no hard feelings, right? Just want to make
No.
sure you're not actually pissed at me.
No,
Patty
not
fish.
even a little bit. And I'm
Yeah.
not ashamed to say that like there's been some campaigns where like I've been really on the fence about whether or not I was strained with a character or a player.
Alright.
But this was not that at all. I think that this was like, man, I kid you not, this was maybe one of the most amazing sessions I've ever had in terms of role play. I just think that everybody did exactly what they were gonna do, and there's nothing more amazing than that in a D&D campaign, just to know that you did exactly what your character was going to do. And
Oh yeah, Beryl could have fucked some shit up, and she was holding
Yeah.
back because she was so confused.
I almost
and I would
applauded when
even
you went
say
for the
that
savagery attacks on Sim. Like I was like wondering. I mean, is Ian gonna go meta and find some reason to exercise restraint? And when you didn't, I was like, that is awesome. And I thought I was about to die right there, but then the dice just landed different.
well, and I would even say like as an optimizing player,
Yeah.
I do regret that I chose to use Great Weapon Master on the first round.
Right.
But in character, I think it's very appropriate that I forgot about that because
Yeah,
the
just try to
rage was
hit as hard
the
as you
ra-
can. Yeah.
the rage
He
was
was
so
just- yeah.
prevalent that I was just like, no,
He was just
fucking
angry.
get out of here. Yeah,
Anger and frustration were driving him. Yeah.
man,
Those dice.
what a wild time. Just enough to keep us on the edge.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly,
the entire
I've
time.
actually had really
One throw
bad-
away. One throw away.
yeah.
3
Twice.
rounds in a row.
Yeah,
No,
there were like
yeah,
4
yeah.
coin flips where I really was expecting Sim to just bite it and try to figure out how to intro someone here.
God damn.
Honestly, guys, I have never had like the few times that I've had campaigns that had PvP type combat where the party turned against each other for whatever reasons. Like most of them have been really bad experiences. They were not well role played. They were players who didn't really care about their
Some
characters.
of them were in this campaign.
No,
I don't remember that.
No.
It was before my time, I think.
Yeah,
It was.
Oh.
Oh man, it was a wild
Was
time
there?
back in the day.
was there?
No,
PvP
there was
in this
nobody.
campaign?
There was no time that anybody was making death throws, but
Okay,
it was,
all right, good.
It was a little awkward.
No, I've
in the
I've
day.
actually been killed. My character has been killed by other PCs in one campaign I played in, and I don't think it wasn't well played. It was players who didn't care about their characters, like not necessarily. They were just having fun, you know, and I don't know. Like this was a better experience. Like I'm actually really kind of really worried that Beryl and I are really worried that we may never find Shock now that they're going to go back and execute them all.
Yeah, no,
But-
that might actually be one of the consequences coming. Like, I do legit
Well-
think I made a gamble and it's bad.
Well, I
so.
think
Here's-
Mayjune and Anna Kate letting those two go is kind of our only hope. I think.
here's the one thing that I have going for me is that. Well, hold on. All right, hold on. Let me put myself into the mental state of Arden. No, fuck, man. If I was Arden and it was 6 on 7, and 5 of you said, I started blasting. I don't give a shit.
Okay,
I'm gonna kill every prisoner I have. I'm gonna kill them all. I don't give a fuck.
To be fair, yeah. No, that's my concern. But to be fair, like, Beryl was not offensive the first round. And the second round, and actually second, third, fourth round, she